slip. I made sure that I found a way through a cloud of haze. Every day I whipped, found how to live through all them cloudy days. You know the mind's a maze with all its mixtures. It's always hard to get the entire scope of the picture. 1080p, that's you other busters, yeah, obsolete. Can't fuck with me, excuse my French, but I'm not discreet. I wear my heart on my sleeve, but I've learned my lesson. I've learned 1996 birth, one of the greatest weapons untold. I'm destined to reach heights thought I could never see, but foolish thoughts rampage my heart and let me not reach the peaks that's entrusted to me. My belief shatter of past actions I grieve, but grievance never really matter. It's how I choose to act differently in the coming battles to overcome my limitations and get out my shadow. But it's hard to wade in this water, but it was never shallow. Fuck it, let me get the paddles. Fuck that now, let me get this castle. Fuck that now, let me get this battle.
What it do, everybody? We are here for a sad Sunday afternoon pod. This is episode 93. It might not be sad for y'all, but it's most definitely sad for us. All right? I ain't gonna get too much of the detail. We appreciate you for stopping.
It ain't sad for all of us. D don't care.
He don't. I mean, hey, his team wasn't even in the playoffs, so.
Welcome to Cancun, nigga.
Hey, I'm glad to be here. Not glad, but glad to be here. The weather is all right. Nonetheless, episode 93. Make sure you hit that like, comment, and subscribe button. Please let us know if y'all agree with us, if y'all don't, if y'all think we stupid. If not, hey, all conversations, criticism is welcome. What else? Oh, how's everybody doing?
Doing good. No complaints for real.
You already answered the question.
Yeah.
What?
We calling in a bomb threat for One Bills Drive tomorrow on MLK Day.
You really going to say that live?
Yeah, what is you talking about?
Yo, I'm like, yo.
What you doing?
On GTA, my bad, on GTA.
You just
My God. You know, already, it's so much stuff. I'd be like maneuvering.
On GTA.
You know how many clips T be maneuvering, even though the system be doing it. You know what you just did there.
I meant that in GTA 6, not in real life. I got the early copy, guys. That's what I was talking about. Okay, it's a little mod I got and everything. That's what I got. All right, calling about
out here giving
GTA
us
6.
heart attacks.
You're worse than the Bills.
We got a couple. Absolutely not.
No, because you made my heart almost jump out my daggone mouth.
I bet they did even worse yesterday.
No, they did not.
The past 8 years, yes, they have.
So what you just said?
Nonetheless, we are here.
So they gonna pull that back out in like 5 years. We finally rolling.
Yeah.
Finally.
They was gonna call it a bomb threat.
Oh, they did what? They said what?
Not us. Him.
Nobody's actually doing
Yeah,
that,
that's
guys.
Sage. Want to make sure that we make that very clear. Do the other way. Go the other way, T.
No.
Just in case.
If you look, on my screen is this way. It's the
Yeah,
right
on
way.
my screen.
All right, I'm
doing
doing
right now.
We doing. Yep. It's all that person. It's all that person named Sage.
No. I'm looking at it right now. How it's here. It's this person. Yo,
there we go.
Point. I got you. Point in the right
Yep.
direction.
Yep.
Y'all all pointing at the wrong direction on my screen.
I'm
it's
pointing
okay.
in the right. No. Look at YouTube. You'll see it.
It's okay. Nonetheless, we are back in here. It's kind of not a slow week, but a little bit of a slow week. We got a couple different things that was announced. Still getting the Wonder Man content teasers before they actually release, which they're doing a hell of a job for the last minute marketing for that show. If y'all haven't tapped in, what's some other honorable mentions? JJK still going on. Had a slow episode this week. JJK Medulo just came out with a new chapter today. Good God Almighty, that shit's going crazy. Anything else? Fire Force is supposed to.
A new one came out today. Wait, is it? Okay.
A new one came out today, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, new Boruto too.
Okay, nope, I read that then. Okay.
Yeah. all of that jazz. But yeah, tap into all of those. We'll probably have some more for y'all as well. We'll get a bigger list for the honorable mentions to start off the pod. Nonetheless, we got a couple things that we got to go over real quick. First off, on the DC side, we got Ryan Hurst being cast as Kratos in the live action God of
Not
War.
DC. Not DC.
I'm
Video
sorry.
games.
Video games. My bad.
Square.
Ryan
In his
Hurst.
defense,
Santa
the point
Monica
before it mentioned DC, so I get it.
Yeah, I said
Nah,
DC on my head.
No.
Ryan
no.
Hurst
He don't
cast
get
as
a pass.
Kratos in the live action God of War. How are y'all? Who did Ryan Hurst play?
He played Thor.
Yeah.
Thor. in the
Is there?
God of War.
I know he did that. Is there anything else that we may be familiar with him or?
Sons of Anarchy.
Oh,
Okay.
time out. Which
That's a good
character
one.
was he? Because that
the
whole
beard, wasn't
series
he?
was. That
Couple
whole
niggas had
series is fire.
He played Opie Winston.
Oh yeah, he good. That boy good.
Ah.
That boy good. Opie had one of the best acting kind of moments in that show. Yeah, they good.
I'm guessing
I'm
they couldn't
excited.
get Christopher Judge because he was too old.
He wouldn't have worked.
That nigga looked like a fucking.
He kind of scary looking.
Yeah, he looked like a fucking.
Hey, Kratos supposed to be scary looking.
No,
too.
not that. Not like that.
Hold up. Isn't Kratos
Not like
black,
that.
though? Isn't Kratos black though?
No, Kratos is
Nah.
green. He's Mediterranean.
He got a little tan on him.
We
He ain't black though.
We know he gonna make him gray. They gonna make him. They gonna make Ryan Hurst
Here's the
gray.
But if you played the game, they showed him before he got that gray ash on his body, he was black.
He was not black.
He
had
was
a
tanned.
Mediterranean tan, like
Yeah.
an Italian from Sicily.
He had the tan. He wasn't black though.
He was not Italian from Sicily. He was Sicilian, like bro. He was
Matt-
not black. I'm telling
man,
you.
At the bottom of the boob.
Because niggas don't want no, bro. We can't have that Christopher Judge playing Kratos. He gonna look like a fucking hyena.
Nah, bro. That it'll ruin the series. It don't matter
Tyler
how
Perry.
good the writing is.
Tyler
It will.
Perry.
It will ruin. It'd be terrified. Kids be walking in like, nah, I gotta go. That's worse than. Nah, I ain't saying anymore. But
That's still really crazy. He got the ghostly white skin comes from ashes of his dead wife and child fused to his
that's
body.
yeah.
And he's 61, bro.
Yeah, nah. It was no way he was gonna be doing that.
Ryan Hurst will be fine.
He's 6'6".
So I'm guessing y'all like that. Y'all like that casting.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna get confused because of playing the God of War game or that most recent one. I'm a hear Thor since I'm so inclined to hear that from playing the game.
He might
but
do some different
I'm
vocal
interested.
inflections.
Might,
He's
yeah.
gonna change his voice for sure.
Yeah, might. I liked him as Thor though. He was a pretty good voice actor for Thor.
But the question is this: like, do they do their own separate storyline, or do we start it with this version of Kratos?
Yeah, that's a good question. Do we go back to the original games? I feel like them better.
But you can't go back to the original game. He has the beard and everything for this Kratos that we have now currently.
If they went back to the original game, they would need a much younger dude.
Younger. That's
Yeah.
fair.
And
Yeah.
I feel like somebody that has a more violent approach, like somebody in their 30s, late 20s, possibly somebody 40s, but Ryan Hurst being 49, he's not trying to be that version of Kratos. This Kratos
So he already been through
He's trying to
something.
be the fatherly Kratos.
All right.
yeah. I feel
So
like
to his point, what story? Like, where do they start it from?
it would
They
take place after the 2018 God of War.
So in between
After
that-
it.
So it'll be
It-
it'll be his own story in between.
So
that
we
and-
getting a boy.
His story will closely follow the path of the last two games as he deals with something new. His 10-year-old son, Atreus.
Yeah,
his
we
father
gonna
and
get the
son
boy.
dynamic began a new chapter. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, they better not follow the second God of War game like Ragnarok. They better not follow that to the T. What they need to do is have their own middle side story between the games.
Mhm.
Then it will work.
That's what it seems like. That's what it looks like.
Because
'Cause
then
how-
they could just set up Atreus having a little spinoff or, being a prominent character, I feel like. Because
How old was Atreus? Technically Loki. My bad, spoiler. How bad was Atreus? And how old was he in the God of War Ragnarok?
he was like between 10 and 14 or some shit.
He was older.
He was around 14 years old. Yeah, so it looks like it takes place in between. He was age 11
12, 13.
in the first God of War.
All right, so a 12, 13-year-old ish.
It looks like
All right.
or probably even a little before.
Shout out to Christopher Judge though, because I do like that he kind of was vocal about how much he was cool with this. I like how he just supportive of everything that's God of War. I do appreciate that. Most of the time, I don't know, I just feel like people be negative a lot, so it's just good to see somebody who positive.
But they did our boy TC Carson wrong though. We gotta throw that.
They did long time ago. They did.
He said they start the new game. They didn't even mention nothing to him. He just saw Christopher Judge was the new Kratos. He's like, damn, 11 years of my life.
He was great. He did the first couple of God of War games.
He was great. Yeah.
He did all of them before. Before
the
he
new.
did the PSP games, the PS2 games, and the PS3 games.
So imagine all that time, niggas like, no, we don't even want to tell you about to cast somebody else. You like, well, damn.
I think
developers needed an actor matching Kratos' larger physical stature for the new motion capture heavy style. Nigga, huh? Just get a body double.
But it is what it is. Christopher Judge did an amazing job. So
that is true. But shout out to TC Carson as well.
You can be mad, but you can't be mad at the same time. It's kind of hard to be mad.
All right. But overall, y'all like it?
Well, you could still be mad at the studio. Just the person who they replaced happened to be a good person too.
You know what's crazy though? I know the person that worked on the 2018 games and the latest one. It's kind of dope.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
we gotta have him on.
I'm trying to. I'll try. I gotta reach out to my cousin. It's his fraternity brother.
Oh, that's lit.
That's fair. All right, so we all liking this then.
Yeah.
Great actor. Let's see how that ends up going. When will this drop?
They casted Thor already in the game too, though. I mean, in the TV series.
Did they really? Who is that?
Thor is he sound like a nigga that belong in the Norse mythology.
Yeah.
His name is like Olaf Vu something. Yeah, his name is after Kratos. They added Teresa Palmer as Sif, Lady Sif. Where is the dude playing Thor?
An actor? Oh, I don't think they have yet.
I swear.
Damn, they said Olivier Richards, who stands at 7 feet 2 inches. God damn.
Wait, who?
We
talking about? What giant?
Bjornsson, who plays the Mountain in Game of Thrones, also seems to have the perfect powerlifter physique that aligns with that of Thor in the games.
Oh, probably him, but it's a dude named Olafur Dari Olafsson that's rumored to be Thor in the game, but he's like he's like 6'2", but y'all know who he is because he looks like the video game version.
He's 6'5".
More than the nigga that played Thor.
Yeah. That guy that you named too, he's 6'5" too, so he got a little size on him.
Yeah, they being aggressive and serious about it, which is really cool.
If y'all look up the Mountain from Game of Thrones, I promise you.
Yeah,
I know you're talking about.
He might be the best. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm about to send you this one dude. I can't find the chat for some reason.
This dude Aki. But all right though, it seems like we all generally have a general consensus. You can still send that. But we seem like we have a general consensus that we like this. So good on them. Hopefully, Amazon Prime hasn't been missing lately. I don't believe with any of their shows that they really putting money behind. So hopefully this is another one that they got going on. All right. I said DC before. I was wrong, but this time I am right. We are going to Marvel now real quick because they didn't really have too much. Two quick things. We got... I was trying to post this thing. Allegedly, reports are saying there will reportedly be 2 Wolverines in the next saga of the MCU. You're going to have Hugh Jackman as Old Man Logan, and then we're going to have a newer Wolverine for the younger X-Men cast for the foreseeable future. How are y'all feeling about this? I know it was a topic of contention within the group chat.
Start this off because I didn't really give my 2 cents with that in our group chat. It goes back to when we talked about how Marvel brought back RDJ for Doom. And it goes with the fact of how it's sort of like the same thing they're doing with Hugh Jackman. But if they do it right, they can like keep him as the Logan version, Old Man Logan, and bring in a newer Wolverine. In my opinion, they should just work with X-23.
But you know these niggas is gonna be upset, brother.
I understand they're gonna be upset, but I'm just saying, like, who? It's like we're about to spend the next 5 years before we find the perfect, before they find a Wolverine that we, as the media, as the audience, are we going to deem it perfect, or are we just going to be like they're just wasting our time again? Do we get the Calverine Wolverine? Like, do they like look at the Wolverines they had in
I think they're gonna switch it up just so it could better differentiate.
Yeah, I think it just be new,
between-
somebody new
because
totally if they do that.
Hugh Jackman is a taller individual, so I think they're gonna get more to the comic book roots. It might get a smaller actor.
And that's one thing that comes up. Like speaking to some dudes at the comic store, we talked about this. They were saying like back in the day, once Hugh Jackman was cast, a lot of people did not like it because one,
Are
he
you
was
okay?
a Broadway actor, and two, he was too tall,
Mhm.
and three, he did not really look the part of a Wolverine. It wasn't until you see the design and you see the story like, okay, damn, this is Wolverine. But if we bringing in Daphne King, X-23, but we're already told it's gonna be like a soft reset, but it's like we kind of want to have this Fox universe dead. We just can't. Let's bring in X-23 and Wolverine, and then have another Wolverine. It's like just might as well just have another Wolverine for your main MCU story, just so you can build up this character. Because if you have Hugh Jackman and another Wolverine and X-23, it's like okay, but people ain't grow up on X-23.
Yeah, or X-23 and Logan. That just would be too Fox orientated.
They're gonna see a lady on the screen and have a fucking conundrum.
Not even having a lady on the screen, but it's like you're not replacing. If you're having a restart to the X-Men, having early on X-Men and that recruiting of Wolverine or having Wolverine part of the team, and you skipping over that just to have X-23, it's like, bro, you're bringing in too much of the Fox X-Men shit that a lot of people didn't like, or a lot of people didn't even grow up to watch. And it's like, okay, this is already causing too much confusion. I get they want to have Hugh Jackman in some capacity, but it's like, bro, if y'all working on getting rid of this multiverse saga and everything will be one universe now that you got the rights to all these characters, I really think you should just go in for one Wolverine, because having two is like, okay, there's two Wolverines. Are there two Spider-Mans? Are there two Hulks? It's still the multiverse shit all over again.
Yeah, but I mean, they're gonna eventually introduce two Spider-Man. We know Miles Morales is on.
But Miles Morales is Spider-Man, not two Wolverines being the same nigga.
Technically, they're.
We can't keep saying technically they're not the same person, because now it's like, look, all this confusion. We got all these variants and shit running around. We got all this stuff going on. Now technically it's not the same person because this one comes from a different multiverse, even though we just finished that saga. So you gonna say fuck the multiverse saga? We just want to keep Hugh Jackman, but also keep the shit he did in the past and the Fox shit by keeping Daphne King.
I don't think they will keep this shit from the past. I think after the Secret Wars, they're gonna X all of that shit out. This is the point. That's the reason why they're bringing all these people back now, in order to fully finish their stories. And then once we go to the Old Man Logan, now they could get more in tune with more comic book storylines from Old Man Logan, and then also keep using a Wolverine because he's such a titular character. I believe that's the correct word. A big character within X-Men, and at least they can use him, but still, because I don't think Wolverine from the X-Men is going to get that much of a shine as Hugh Jackman did, and that's where Hugh Jackman comes in order to be able to give Wolverine a little bit more shine, giving them the basis to be able to use the Summer family and make them the main characters instead of making Wolverine the main character type of thing.
And I get where you're coming from, but it's like Wolverine is still a big component of that X-Men team. Having Old Man Logan, a lot of people, we've seen the movie Logan. Cool. We've seen Wolverine with X-Men Origins Wolverine and the Wolverine movie. If you're doing a Wolverine movie, people don't always want an Old Man Logan movie. And it's like you haven't shown us the Hulk in a capacity where we want to see him fight Wolverine. So it's like you have a lot of things to work on story wise for an old man Logan to make sense. So if you introducing the X-Men and if this is the mutant saga, having a mutant saga and like the 4th or 5th movie even being an old man Logan movie is like, how does this progress the mutant saga moving forward with Hulk fighting Wolverine? With like, what have you done with the Hulk character for him to want to fight Wolverine? For like, how have you reestablished this dynamic? And it's like, I get wanting to have Hugh Jackman, but having Hugh Jackman and his star power and having old man Logan and then having a younger Wolverine, it's like, okay, it's not time to have movies taking place out of order or do anything. Like, I feel like they should focus on the mutant saga. Like you said, Wolverine doesn't have to be the titular character in the X-Men saga and the X-Men team. It's supposed to be Cyclops. They can focus on the Summers family, but don't have a Wolverine by the wayside and then just keep using Hugh Jackman as Logan, because then that's not fair to that new Wolverine to establish himself as that character.
Yeah, I agree. I like.
Because I'll say this real quick now. My bad.
No, you good.
Niggas not gonna bring back Tobey Maguire to be an older version of Spider-Man just to have Tom Holland. Because then it's like, damn, we trying to bring Tom Holland to be the face of Marvel and do all of this. Now we got Tobey Maguire, and then people gonna be like, okay, why is it 2 of these niggas? And they got a Miles Morales. They're not gonna do all of that.
Yeah, like it's you don't want to look if we here's the other part too that kind of like goes on top of Dee's point. The idea of these next 2 Avengers movie is supposed to kind of get people more so into the graces to get hyped for the next saga. If you add this level of confusion with a character as big and pivotal to the next saga as a Wolverine would be, that's going to already start to piss people off and make them think that we continuing to have some of the same issues that we had in the previous saga. We just don't need it. I think if you're going, like, we already know they're going to do something with, there's probably going to be a really big scene or a really big role with Hugh Jackman, and they are already anticipating, given how bringing his character back in Deadpool and Wolverine was so successful, they probably already project that it's going to be very successful, whatever they have planned here. So, okay, you're having Hugh Jackman's Wolverine come back for something. Let it, to Dee's point, we need that to be a standalone, and we need to be moving on to new chapters with as many characters as we possibly can, to be honest with you. Trying to do some of these larger than life comic book stories. The one thing that's good about Hulk is that if Hulk is in the Hulk form, it's CGI. So you don't have to necessarily, like, if he in the Hulk form the whole time, they could possibly just go by the waistline with this Mark Ruffalo Hulk if he just stays in the Hulk form. And then if we ever did change or move on to another character, they might be able to kind of do that real slick, i.e. similar to the what was that, Ed Norton to Mark Ruffalo transition. But again, a character like Wolverine, I want to see that with a young, fresh face. I want to see, if we're going to do a fight like that, I want to see that there. If they wanted to do like a Maestro Hulk and an alternate kind of thing, and it happened to involve Old Man Logan, I would be fine with that. But again, if we got to build up this Hulk, or Wolverine, we got to build up this one that's coming from the X-Men, the narrative behind them. We got to make this character feel, maybe you can't emulate exactly the same reverence that people have had for Hugh Jackman, but we still need to be focusing on how to get somebody new in the play that can create a new era for this character. And again, I don't just feel like Wolverine, my favorite character, so I'm a little biased in saying this in regards specifically to Wolverine, but honestly, this is true for a lot of other characters, and I wouldn't be mad if the template is with Wolverine, because Hugh Jackman in this role is one of the oldest live action Marvel characters that we've had, particularly, to do this role as long as he has. If he is our kind of example that we use to figure out how to get other characters such as an Iron Man, such as a Captain America, And well, I guess they already got the answer for Captain America, but such as a Thor, such as an Iron Man. If this is the example to get you to understand how to do it successfully, at some point we got to start saying, yeah, you know what, let's get the ball moving on this. Let's figure out how to do this successfully. Wolverine is a great character to do this with. He's a pivotal character. He's one of the bigger characters that people think of when they think of Marvel. So if you can lay down something that is successful with Wolverine, we good to go. Let's not drag this. Why do we got to drag it? Why not? Why can't we just get a new Wolverine and start getting the ball moving? New X-Men characters, getting the ball moving. Like, I hate that it just drags. It's like, just, lay it on the table. I'm not going to say what you're laying on the table, because I don't know if this is a child-friendly podcast or not yet. I think we still deciding on that. Rob kind of ruined that in the beginning of the show. But lay it on the table and just say, we are starting a new era. And we need y'all to get behind it. Honestly, I think a lot of fans would be relieved at that, and they'd be excited for that. They just got to pivot. They can't be scared to go in that direction. That's why I don't necessarily like if the two Wolverines is X-23 and Old Man Logan, it just seemed like they scared. Like they scared to move forward. And I don't want that energy in this new saga. I want they really trying to elevate and also enter us into a new era. So yeah.
What you think, Rob?
Bro, Rob, okay,
y'all
before you
sorry,
answer
y'all.
that too, if it's X-23 and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, you telling me, would you just how would you feel about that? That's just,
If it's X-23, I'd actually be interested because, again, it's something new, it's something refreshing. I don't necessarily care if it's a woman on the screen, like a lot of other comic book or just nerds in general.
but technically that's not a second Wolverine.
It is. It is.
It's X-23.
In the comics, she goes by Wolverine.
I mean, I guess, but like, okay, if my thing is this, you go by Logan, you go by Deadpool and Wolverine, like, yeah, you could flesh her story technically out more. But I would rather just have her story as when we introduced, like, Wolverine died when we're introduced to her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather her be her own character and we have another Wolverine come in. I'd rather you try to figure out what's the story plot line that we could have around that, where she's had her own Wolverine and here it is, this other Wolverine that's potentially maybe even younger than her, and it's confusing for her because her role at looking at somebody named Logan or somebody who's Wolverine has always been somebody who's been like in a father figure role, whereas now she has to almost be more like a big sister to somebody who was essentially the same as her if she were to retain all of her memories from Secret Wars or however they end up doing that. I would be more in line with something like that than having her take on the role of Wolverine. So much of the story I feel like would get lost. Of Wolverine's story would get lost in that.
I agree with you on that now, because it's like if this is the mutant saga and they introducing us to mutants, or let's say if after Secret Wars we have a world where mutants have already been introduced. Yeah, Wolverine is like a dude that's like late 30s, early 40s or whatever. And he's already, it's already assumed that he's been through a certain amount of stories that we've already seen. And you have an X-23, but I still feel like not having her be like a big sister figure, because it's like she's still a clone of him.
Mm-hmm.
Some capacity, I still feel like she has to be that clone of him, not somebody that's like, I'm a clone version of you from this future, from this reality. Now I'm looking at a younger version of you. I think that's just going to bring in too much confusion because it's like if they don't have any plans for her to be a lead in the X-Men or anything, then that's just not going to go well. And I get the Old Man Logan thing, because he is he's a Wolverine from another Earth that got to Earth Prime after Secret Wars. But continuity in comics and movies is just different, because we can pick up the issues and go and read and understand why this person's there. If you take into account general audience, but yeah, we still got Hugh Jackman and this other dude, but you still got general audience. So you bring in another dude, but it's like people gonna just go see Hugh Jackman's Old Man Logan, but you can't make 2 or 3 Old Man Logan movies and then
No,
move a mutant saga forward.
it's got to be a one and done thing. I'm really hoping that's the case. It's got to be. If they doing it,
think it will.
which it looks like they will, it's got to be a one and done thing.
I don't think it will.
If
Only-
anything, that movie
only
just got to
way-
be used to encourage people into learning more about this new Wolverine.
The only thing that the fans especially have shown Marvel is that the fans love fucking Hugh Jackman. Because if they didn't, that movie wouldn't have been close to $1 billion. So off that simple premise, they're going to follow the money. And what do people like? Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. Now they got the opportunity to use him and a younger Wolverine. I agree with y'all that I don't think it'll be an X-23. Again, I think they're pivoting more so from their female leads and focusing more so on their male leads because that's what the comic book nerds want because they hate seeing women on the screen. So I think they'll just do that route.
Well,
Have Old Man Logan doing separate stories. Have this Wolverine being focused more so on the X-Men, probably a Midnight Suns, possibly, so on and so forth, and all of that jazz.
we can't keep saying that though, Rob, that everybody hates seeing women on the screen.
Nerds do. Nerds do.
Nerds? Okay, if
They
nerds
do
hate
be
seeing women on the screen, there are
bugging.
also female nerds. So
There
we-
is female nerds, but
there are
there's
female
not
nerds.
as
We gotta
many.
take into account they are also consumers of this, so it's not only on males that Marvel's made 200 something.
Majority of the fan base of comic book movies and comic books in general have been white men, by and large, from all age groups. Every single age group. Is
Okay.
white men.
Throwing them a bone though, if we look at I think they were too harsh on Kamala Khan's series.
They was harsh on all the women.
They was
Harsh on Captain
well,
Marvel.
They weren't harsh on Wanda for WandaVision. They enjoyed WandaVision. That was a female-led series. Multiple females that
It's
led
some
that
people
series.
that do. It's some people that hate that.
I haven't seen the people that hated WandaVision. I've seen a lot of people. The vast majority that I've seen in social, and by social I mean like social media settings, trending settings, even in localized settings. I can't obviously go national because I'm not, or international because I can't account for everyone in the world. But from what I've just witnessed, it has been most people. I can't name that many people that hated WandaVision. In fact, I remember a lot of people saying, "What happened?" Because you started so well with Disney Plus. Because remember, WandaVision was one of the series that kind of opened up Disney Plus. They were saying like it was such a good start for Disney Plus with the MCU content, and then it just feel like it tailored off. That's what like most arguments that I've heard have been.
And I have a question real quick. Rob, do you watch DC or not that much? Like DC CW shows? No.
I watched a little bit of The Flash, a little bit of Green Arrow, but after some point,
So out of Batwoman, Supergirl, Echo, Jessica Jones, Kamala Khan show, which one was the best one? Excuse me, which one did niggas even watch?
I did watch Miss Marvel. I did watch Echo. What was the other ones that you?
Supergirl.
Supergirl,
I don't think I ever watched that one.
Batgirl with Ruby, whatever.
Damn sure didn't watch that one. I'd say off the top of my head, Miss Marvel show. I thought it was pretty good. It opened up the
Out of
opportunity.
all
She
of
was
them,
the first
definitely.
mutant. She was the first mutant ever
But
announced in the
when we
MCU.
see these girl shows, they not market it in a way where it's like you want to watch it.
They not good.
That's the thing. I'm not trying to say they all ass, but when you see the first 2 seasons of Arrow, the first 2 seasons of Flash, Superman and Lois, then you see fucking all these other shows we get. They're marketed to nerds and guys are like, what do we like? We like action, we like suspense, we like drama. If you show me a fucking Supergirl trailer and a Batwoman trailer and a Kamala Khan trailer versus Arrow season 1 trailer, it's like that's not gonna get me hype. It is not because some guys don't like women. Not that majority of guys don't like women on the screen. The way it's marketed is geared towards this is like a girl show for girl power. We want girls to be the audience for it. And your target, and then the people that are actually going to support this stuff, it's not interesting to them. So when you got a fucking Brie Larson, whose movie wasn't that great to a lot of people, it made $1 billion. When you got her sandwiched in with Monica Rambeau and Kamala Khan, and the trailers look goofy, it's like, this movie not gonna make money. Then you got all this other stuff, and it's like, okay, every time a lot of times when y'all push women into the spotlight for these films, the way that they've been pushed for, like the leading project that they had was ass before. So it's like, why are they getting any spotlight at all or any attention to be leading something like this?
To be leading just like the universe in general, or
not the universe in general, but I'm like, we all agree Daphne King did a phenomenal job as X-23.
She did.
Yeah.
No, nobody's saying she did bad. She did a terrible job. But it's like, if we reset the universe, nobody is gonna want to see Yelena leading the Avengers. Nobody, like, that's a female.
Nah, cause you hit it on the nail with that D. It's those themes. It goes back to that conversation I had a couple pods ago, where we understand that if you have a character, like a female led character, super heroine show, that there's one of the things that will naturally be tackled in it is the idea of her identity as a woman. And it's not that that's necessarily anything that's bad. It's just they dive too much into the themes. Give you a perfect example. Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman was a solid movie. It was a solid movie. They went through that experience with Diana. Mm-hmm. They did it, but they didn't like drown in it. And the problem is that, like, when you go to a series like She-Hulk, or you go to the Marvels movie, or you go to some of these shows like D talking about, you see where they like bleeding too much of the themes into the actual content. And I think from at least a lot of the nerdy female fans that I've talked to or that I've seen, they don't really like that either. They want it to be more organic. Like how it was in Wonder Woman, where this hero, this female superhero, is going amongst her journey, her superheroic journey, and in that she's learning her lessons and learning more about herself and gaining her confidence in who she is and understanding the principles that because with Wonder Woman, she comes from an entire society of just women. So like, being able to talk about her Amazonian principles really is directly tied to her principles as a woman and are things that a woman would identify to. It naturally presents itself in the story of Wonder Woman. And these other characters have examples of that. They just, instead of going with again, this is why I say I don't think that they really like the writers of like comic books. I don't think that I think it's something, there's like a taboo around them for whatever reason when it comes to the cinematic experience. Because these writers have really gone above and beyond to write characters in ways where they will hit on these things. And in ways that comic book fans have accepted. None of that gets translated, though, when we get to the cinematic version of it. It becomes that same narrative exaggerated. As opposed to following kind of like that rhythm that the comic book had.
Yeah, because it's like the Batgirl series. Same thing that I'm talking about. You got the trailer, the music in the background is I'm a Woman. Nothing wrong with that. Somebody talking about, oh yeah, this looks better on me. The suit's going to look better on me when I'm Batman because it'll be fitting on a woman. It's like, all right. And then it's like, it's a lot of shit that's just forced into the dialogue where it's like, yo, focus on being a fucking hero instead of just being like, you know what? Men are ass. Men can't do shit. They need the woman around. It's like,
them forced narratives lower the quality.
And it's like, yo, we get that. And it's like, come on. Like, imagine if you had Black Panther save the day and he like, the day was saved because an ethical black man was here. You'd be like, okay, nigga, just make sure everybody get the safety.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like when they put these women in the script. Like when we saw Avengers Endgame, it has to make sense for a scene. Peter Parker, you already undermine how powerful Captain Marvel is when she's coming to get the gauntlet from Peter to take it to the van or whatever, and she's flying. We just seen her fly through Thanos' ship. She gets the gauntlet. He says, "How are you going to get through all those monsters?" You mean to tell me Pepper Potts, the Wakanda Shorty, Shuri, the Wasp, Wanda, every single female hero is there, and they're like, "Because we got her back."
I think that was just a little Easter egg.
She's the Easter egg for what? But that's the thing. They built
A-team.
nothing. They said the A-team, but think about it, Rob. That scene in that movie at that point in time was like, it was not needed because you only needed one. You only needed Captain Marvel. Kevin Feige says she's the most powerful. If she's the most powerful, she does not need fucking Wasp clearing out the way for her. And she just flew through a ship that's been torching their asses. Like, and it's like they force these bits and scenes that are like, oh, women empowerment, this and this. It's like, yo, let it happen naturally. It has to be organic. It can't just be forced into a scene to make it look like it's badass because it's not badass. You didn't show them do anything.
I think the issue we have here is these nerd niggas don't give women enough opportunities to be able to flourish. You got Miss Marvel, that was an alright series. Niggas was already cooking her. Don't want to see her. You got Captain
I do
Marvel,
think they was unfair
not
with Miss
too
Marvel.
bad, but still was cooking her nonetheless. You got Shuri. She had one movie as Black Panther 4 years ago, and niggas still can't let that go, despite it being a pretty solid story for the circumstances that they were under. Like, I hear.
See,
what
that's
y'all
where
saying.
it clashes because I think it's there's actual comic book fans who genuinely have integrity and don't have any issues. And D said this already, that don't have any issue with women-led stories. I mean, dude, there's a lot of comic book characters that are women that nerds love, dude. Like love.
We're saying this at the same time. The women that we get in comics aren't regular women, if you understand what I'm saying. They're like anime women.
What do you mean by
in
that?
regards to how they're portrayed? You got Captain Marvel in scantily clad clothes in the comic books. You got a lot of these women heroines, Wonder Woman, all of these women in scantily clad clothes for the most part. And that's what gets niggas interested in the comic.
No, see, I think I'm gonna be a buck with you. I think maybe the demographic that like is maybe a little sexist within the nerdy realm. Maybe that is something that gets done, but for the vast like comic book nerd and fan, it's not how the women dress. It's like they got some really good, compelling stories behind a lot of these female characters in the comic books that we able to identify, we able to respect, and we able to appreciate as it goes into the larger comic book narrative.
I understand y'all completely. I know they got some great storylines for women-led characters in the comics. My only issue is, and I've seen one too many videos of a certain demographic of individuals talking about they don't want women heroes taking the forefront of Marvel going forward. We've kind of seen it in regards to, like, I don't know if y'all remember that shirt that Marvel released or a sweater, and it was showing all of the heroes' new wardrobes. It was kind of like their dress and everything. I think it was something for like it was Doomsday related, but it was barely any women on there, type of thing. So they're making a switch from using more women to using less women.
You talking about the shirt for the Doomsday promo?
I think so, and it had like Namor and all of them. It was. I'm not saying there wasn't women on there, but I'm saying it's considerably less in comparison to the women that we've already been introduced to. At Max, they had Shuri, Scarlet Witch, and Invisible Woman. It was nobody else. No other woman. And that's what I'm saying, where
She-Hulk and Echo?
I guess if they really wanted to do something, use the shawty from Secret Invasion. Even though that show was ass, she still has a power set to be able to do something. Use Captain Marvel. She's the most powerful woman in the MCU. I didn't see her on there. Like, I understand what y'all saying, but we also have to have to realize what type of nation we're in and what type of society that we live in.
And I see where you're coming from, Rob, but you have to understand these stories have to be compelling enough for people to care. When you read the comics, Storm as a leader in the X-Men, people love that shit. Even the demographic you're talking about, Storm is like one of the best X-Men. You know what I'm saying? Kitty Pryde. People love Kitty Pryde in the X-Men.
Yeah.
People like Jubilee. People like Psylocke. People like Magic. People like all these other female characters, but it's how they're first presented once we get them. We got the Echo series. We all love the trailer. It was like, oh, this shit is good. And you watch the series, you're like, oh, okay, that was kind of a letdown. You watch something else, and I agree. Before Kamala Khan even get on there, it's like, okay, I'm not watching this shit, but she's the only one that seems to have this type of zeal to be in the Marvel universe. It's like they could use her more, but at the same time, it's like, bro, if the same people from year after year after year are the same demographic going to see these movies, don't be like, yeah, I'm about to flip the script on y'all niggas and do something different. That's like every year at your family, if you having Thanksgiving dinner, are you gonna be like, yeah, we ain't got mac and cheese and yams and dressing this year? I got chicken a la vaca, and I got string bean casserole, and I got some other bullshit. Niggas will be like, what the fuck? What did I come here for? If you already knew I wanted the mac and cheese, yams, and dressing.
Mhm.
I never asked for the casserole and all this other bullshit, but you just gonna give it to me. And I'm gonna taste it since I'm here. Since you put it out, I'm gonna taste it. I don't like it. But then if the next year, if you put the same shit out again, it's like, yo, my nigga, we ain't even touched on that for real last year. Like, why you keep bringing it back? You can't get mad that people got an appetite for these characters. Like in the comics, we, like Niall said, we read in the Wolverines, we read in the Supermans, the Batmans, the Flash, the Green Lanterns. We reading about all this other shit. Nobody ever says, yo, I can't wait to go pick up that Kamala Khan comic. We ain't never said that shit as a group of niggas ever.
No, but it's a lot of people that do like Kamala Khan as a character and like nerd comic book wise. There is a lot. She
But
do
it's
got a
like-
decent fan base
Well,
of
she
comic
has a
book
decent
characters.
fan base, but it's like
Or
majority of fans is not picking up a Kamala Khan comic.
I'm
But
I'm
I
letting
do
you know
think
right now there was targeted harassment on all of these characters that we talked about. It wouldn't be a prominent thing within the fan base. It wouldn't be a big group if niggas wasn't coming up with what's the tagline at the MCU. It wouldn't be a prominent thing in the fan base if niggas wasn't coming up with this shit. You feel what I'm saying? I can understand the stories weren't that good for some of these characters, but by God Almighty, if I hear niggas say this shit and then say Thor 1 and Thor 2 was great and that gave them the green light to keep watching Thor, these niggas is lying through their fucking teeth. Because Thor 1 and Thor 2, Captain America 1 was subpar, but niggas was still willing to give them a chance
think
and
of
not
that,
give
Rob,
as
real
much
quick.
scrutiny.
Them shits was subpar as hell, but it's the character when they ensemble together. Think of this. Black Widow, that movie could have been way better if they did it while she was alive. You have
Yep.
Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson should have got a movie before, what was that shit that came out? Before Endgame. Before, damn, what's the joint that came out? Infinity War. You have Scarlett Johansson as a Black Widow. Mad nerds would have went to go see that movie, but then she dies and it's like, okay, we're gonna do this, and then you find out it's just like, bro, like the bait and switch. Taskmaster, okay, now they get into it. You mean Taskmaster was a girl the whole time and you changed the origin story from somebody that worked at SHIELD and has photographic memory and copying people's fighting movements? Now the character is different. So now it's not like people didn't give a fuck about Black Widow, but you use her to shoehorn in a whole villain in the MCU people have been waiting to see because of the comics, and we have Deadpool, and then it's like, okay, now that's changed. Now this has changed. Now this has changed just because of the story, just to have a woman in this role, and it's like, I think the timing is off for when Marvel does shit. You just can't. I don't know, bro. I feel like
it's forced. That's the reality. It's forced.
Yeah.
The problem, and that's the thing too, bro, is if it was forced, but it was around, like the stories for it was like fire, then I do think a lot of this, you would have a lot more resistance of people saying things like, no, actually, I thought that it was really good, and they did a very compelling job at demonstrating this character's struggles and the process that she went through as a woman in this particular series was one that I felt was very profound, and I was able to gravitate to a lot more. But the reality is, that's hilarious, by the way, because I'm looking at the chat. But the reality is that there's nobody to be that voice, Sage, like that voice against the sexism that kind of comes out, because the material isn't good enough. If the material, like I'm sure there was people in that sexist realm that just went at Wonder Woman, but the first Wonder Woman was so good that the people overshadowed that. But when it's bad paired up with sexism, the voice of the sexism people overshadow it. If the material is better, if the material is solid, you will get I think you will get pushback from a lot of the nerdy individuals.
My only thing is they had multiple projects, solid projects with women leads, and niggas was still shitting on it regardless.
What's the solid project?
Main point, Ironheart was a solid project. Still got shitted on. Probably got shitted on even more because it was a black woman. Shuri and Black Panther 2. We've seen the examples of niggas shitting on that movie. And a lot of us in this podcast right now generally feel, and most people within the MCU generally feel, that it was a good movie. Yet, despite it being a good to decent movie, niggas was still shitting on it. I understand what y'all saying, but the scrutiny levels that women have to deal with in the MCU in comparison to male leads and women leads is astronomical.
But okay, we named, that's the thing though, we got, because I roll with you, Kamala Khan, Ironheart, or Miss Marvel, Ironheart, Shuri's Black Panther. What else was good out of the MCU with female leads?
I didn't watch it, but I heard good things about Agatha All Along.
Why didn't you watch it?
Really good.
I just
really
never got
good
around
show.
to it.
Agatha All Along was good. Yeah, I'll give you Agatha. So we got, and Wanda. I'll throw Wanda is in there for sure. So WandaVision, Agatha All Along.
For not watching Agatha, he doing all this hoopla.
Yeah, you should have watched Agatha. Agatha is good.
I haven't gotten around to it.
Niggas not watching women and he ain't watching.
But you got around to watching Echo?
I watched Echo when it was coming out.
And you
I'm sorry, I was busy when Agatha All Along was coming out, damn it, and I never doubled back. But I watched every single thing else with women in it, goddamn it. Just because I didn't watch one of them. Did y'all watch everything with women in it? Did y'all watch Secret Invasion? Fuck no, y'all ain't watched that shit.
I did watch all the stuff with the women in it.
I watched it.
Hell, did y'all watch Ironheart?
Yeah,
I did. I liked Ironheart. I liked Ironheart.
Talking about.
But we got hold on, because this is what I'm trying to break down. We got Ironheart, we got Agatha All Along, WandaVision, we got Miss Marvel. And what else was good?
I can't necessarily say She-Hulk was good. I don't think it was bad.
You know it wasn't good. It was bad. It was bad. It was bad, bro. Stop it. Stop it.
I never this could be coming from me because I never read a She-Hulk comic a day in my life outside of the Ultimate series.
It wasn't a She-Hulk comic. It wasn't. It was not.
I don't know if her shit is serious or not in the comic books, but I figured that since she's a character kind of like Deadpool that breaks the fourth wall, I figured it was going to be more.
She broke the fourth wall in the 80s like a couple times, and no, they took one kind of more obscure thing about She-Hulk. It was not a She-Hulk. That was not anything of the She-Hulk from the comics, unless like they maybe had like a spin-off kind of funny series. I call them like the equivalent of like an anime short, unless they had an anime short like pivot with She-Hulk maybe in it as a furry character. That was the closest that the She-Hulk TV series would have come to anything that would have came out of the comics with it. It was not a good series. But we got four. We got four, right?
After or right before Endgame with Captain Marvel. We got Black Panther Wakanda Forever. If you put that in there,
Okay, 5.
since that was woman led. Um,
We got 5.
people hate that. A lot of people
No,
love that. The Eternals had a lot of women, and technically the
No,
main
female
character
led,
in
nigga.
that was a woman.
it's just where female characters are the lead. Like they are the lead, not they share the lead role.
I would say she had the lead role though, because we were kind of following her, but
We were, but there's so many other characters in there that could kind of distort what I'm trying to go for. That's
they
why I
don't have
say
that
that.
many. It's only WandaVision, it's only Miss Marvel, it's only Echo, Captain Marvel,
Echo was not well received.
Jessica Jones. It was not, and I kind of don't blame him. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and then we got She-Hulk and the Marvels, and then Black Widow. And
Jessica
those are
Jones was
cool.
Netflix, so I wouldn't throw that in there for this argument.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't throw that in there, but we say probably somewhere around 5, right?
I think that was 10 shows that they had.
No, I said that were good.
Oh yeah, so 5 out of 5. I mean,
And then that's the other thing is the other content that came out. Yeah, if you hitting at 50%, I'm not saying, and that's the thing, that 50% is 50% from the constructive non kind of like sexist comments or easily persuaded because a woman is involved. That's not even including that. That number, as we know, gets smaller with them. But when you have 50% with them, like with everyone, that's like objective. And then the other 50 is like And mind you, again, the people who not rolling with it bring that number up even more to a higher percentage, even if we don't agree with it. Their input is going to overshadow because it's not enough good content. Like when we talk about Captain America 1, Thor 2 not being good movies, we still got like 8 films with other characters that's in that tier of maybe we would agree with, but maybe we wouldn't agree with, but others would agree is good. At the very least, when you take all of that into it, it's hitting higher than 50%.
we got the 50-50. Now I got another question. 50-50 for female-led projects in the MCU. What's the percentage of Thor movies that were actually good to decent out of 4?
None of his movies was good.
Yeah.
Thor Ragnarok, I say, was good.
Do think people, but we've said it here, we do think that people should be critical of Thor.
That's 25%.
But yo, hear me, Rob, this is what we saying. His movie's not good, but his other showings is where people like, I want to see more of Thor. When Thor comes in Infinity War, in Wakanda, doing his shit, okay, yeah, that's that nigga Thor. He get a movie off of his appearances in other joints. But it's like, bro, you got, when we talk about She-Hulk being bad, the writers don't understand the characters in Marvel. You can't tell me She-Hulk giving a speech of, Bruce, you don't understand my anger. Getting catcalled every day. Bitch, Bruce Banner's dad beat him as a kid because he thought he was a mutant because of his intellect. And also beat his mom. And you talking about getting catcalled? You talking about a nigga that got an identity disorder? A nigga, even in the MCU, Bruce Banner said, I hate turning into Hulk because it feels like somebody's pouring a gallon of acid on my brain. And she just Hulk form, clapping and shit and doing shit. It's like, bro, you can't just take the female character to shit on other shit. It's like, bro. Like,
And She-Hulk wouldn't say that. Like in the comic book, she would recognize like, yo, my cousin, it's bad for you. Like she would recognize that with Bruce. She would never try to compare her circumstances to Bruce's.
Like Rob, for real, like be for real, y'all, all of y'all. If your dad was beating you as a kid, punching your chest, throwing you from the living room to the dining room, cracking china over your head, calling you a monster just because you could solve the Pythagorean theorem or whatever the fuck Bruce was doing, and then you wake up and be like, you know what? I can't wait for breakfast today. It's Sunday, and you just see your mom sit on the couch with a black eye, and then your girl be like, you know what, nigga? You don't know what I go through. Niggas be catcalling me all day.
I think that was a joke because she does make jokes like that in the
Come on,
comics.
Rob. Come on, Rob.
She does make jokes like that in the
You
comic.
can't joke about abuse. I couldn't be with a girl that got abused as a kid and be like, you ain't got as bad as me, girl. Girls be catcalling me. I'm just
She
joking.
wasn't
You know,
making
I
a
beat up by
joke.
your dad.
She wasn't making a joke on the abuse.
What was she joking about?
She didn't say because of your upbringing, like, oh, I would hate to be you, or I'm better than you, or anything like that. It wasn't like she was talking specifically about his upbringing. That's where the joke is. It's kind of like a dark joke.
It's not a joke. Nigga, did you watch the speech?
I can't remember. It's been too long.
The speech literally is her.
It wasn't because none of it was memorable. That's why you can't.
Exactly.
The whole show wasn't memorable.
Bro, it was not a joke. Saying that you don't know what I go through, and then your main point is being catcalled in the street.
That could be a joke, yeah.
Rob, you don't say, Rob, I just gave you the example. If your girl's like, you know what, I know what you've been through, but I've been catcalled today in the street. It's like, yo,
yeah, that could be a joke. I don't understand how you can't see that.
Rob,
Oh yeah, I've been catcalled in it. Oh yeah, I just got my leg broken and everything like that. Oh, well, I just got catcalled. Ha ha ha, funny.
In what world would you even think that shit was funny?
It would be.
No, nobody would think that's a joke.
It would be.
Rob, in the speech she gave, she did not crack a smile to say it was a joke. That was her reasoning for her telling Bruce, you don't understand.
Dude, a nigga got a
Yeah, it was
crack
like
a
in a
smile?
kind of like a fit and rage,
Dude, a
right?
nigga got a crack a smile?
Yeah, no, that wasn't. She wasn't joking in that moment. She was saying it like.
This is why in the community of nerds, you have niggas like Rob that's gonna find fault. That's not gonna find fault in nothing going on with Marvel. You can't sit there and be like, well, people in the community don't want to see women. It's because niggas like Rob will be like, well, this and this, and if you always sitting there and have intercession and find no fault in nothing that they do with these female characters, it's like, bro, like you can't you vouching for shit that you don't even remember. You didn't remember the speech.
And it's not like this. To be honest, too, it's not like this heat is just for the women, and it's not like this heat is just for like cultural groups. I don't think that that's the case too. I like to the point with Thor. I'm glad you brought up Thor. Nobody after Love and Thunder, I remember people explicitly saying, I don't want to see no Thor movie.
Yes.
Because the track record with Thor has been bad. It's not as much of a bias. Like, there is, again, the people you talking about do exist. I am not going to deny you that. I know they exist as well as you do. I know they exist with stereotypes and hatred and vitriol towards women, with people of color, with different religious groups. I know. I'm not saying those people not out there. But it's not like the problems don't just stop there. It's like the problems have been with just the bro, you read Jonathan Hickman work. Like, I know for a fact you have read Jonathan Hickman work. Imagine, and you will probably, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you will probably say you like kind of newer to the comic book scene of it, like the actual reading these sagas and stuff like that. We talking about people. Even me, and I've been reading this stuff for a long time. Like, back with Mr. M days and whatnot, I would be going to Queen City and getting comic books, bro. I would really be getting comic books.
Yes.
Like, and even with me saying that, and we talking about over a sporadic 20 years of reading, even with me having that, I would say I'm on the light side. To these some of these comic book fans, like, they've been reading things like Jonathan Hickman. They've been reading things like Alan Moore. They've been reading some stories, bro. And when you don't see that, like, when you read those stories and then you see the stories that's coming out of the MCU, you like, what's going on, bro? Like, what is going on? And again, I do understand that there's those people who messed up people. They just tactless people. But there's, again, if the content was good, you would get an enormous amount of comic book fans who would defend it till they would put their life on the line to defend it. If the content was there. The fact that the content ain't there, they silent, And so whose voices do we hear? The voices of the people who stereotype and the people who have vitriol to certain groups and certain cultures. They voices get illuminated because the content ain't great. Like going back to the Wonder Woman point, I am sure those people with vitriol towards women were out in troves when Wonder Woman came out. But that first Wonder Woman was so good. And mind you, we could go by the first Wonder Woman to the second Wonder Woman. The first Wonder Woman, it was so good that the people who were actual comic book nerds who read Wonder Woman comics and who read other comics, they overshadow any noise. And then when Wonder Woman 2, 1984 came out, that trash, that hot trash came out, they went back to being silent because it wasn't good. And whose voices do you hear when it ain't good? And then Thor, it's like now, okay, let's take Thor as an example. Because now we could go to the other side, the white male side, which we making the argument that they don't get as much of that. Let's look at Love and Thunder. That movie was so trash, the people who even would be in defense of a white male or come sing to the praises of a white male, they did not come out and say, they were silent because it was bad. And they let they let the narrative that is vocalized be the fact that that movie was bad. And that they tired of seeing trash Thor movies. So it's like, this is what we mean when we say like it's just the content has to evolve. They gotta, like, there's so many female characters that I really enjoy and would love to see fleshed out. One of the characters that I like, that I don't even know how they would maneuver it, but I would love to see if they took it serious, something. This is going back on the DC side. But the whole Barbara Gordon story, like the whole thing, her start with her fascination with Batman to the her getting into the wheelchair, to her relationship with Dick Grayson, to her becoming Batwoman, her as Oracle. I think her entire story is a very interesting story. I wish that we could I wouldn't want them to do it right now because I wouldn't trust them that it'd be done right. But I would love to see that story. I would love to see it. And I think that story is an amazing example of being able to show trials and tribulations of a hero, trials and tribulations of a woman, trials and tribulations of somebody in Gotham. Like, bro, she got such a complex history and such a complex story to tell. I would love that. You know how that's why I'm saying, bro, these comic book writers really be putting their foot. They know that these things are important. You know how you feel about Miles Morales? You ever hear, who was that did Miles Morales? That was Bendis or was that Pack? That was Bendis, right? I think that was Bendis.
Bendis, yeah.
Yeah. You ever hear why Bendis made Miles Morales? You ever hear that story? Mm-hmm. He made Miles Morales because he had two daughters. He had an adopted daughter, I think. Not two daughters, but he had a daughter that I believe he adopted. Either that or he is in a biracial relationship. I really don't know, and I'm fuzzy on the details exactly how he has a daughter of color. But he wanted to make something that she could resonate with because he saw the disparities within the comic book realm. You see how much effort he put into the story of Miles Morales? He made this black suit Spider-Man, something that probably nobody in the comic book industry thought would be able to be well received and done. He weaved an amazing story around his character. And guess what happened? A lot of fans liked him. Now, again, do you get those people that have vitriol just because it's a person of color? Yes, you do. Because if you look at the nerddom out there with Miles Morales Spider-Man, it's a lot of people that hate him. But again, when the stories is done right, even with the comic books, when the stories is done right, the nerds come out and they say, we love this character, and they overshadow it. It's the content. It just goes back. Like, that's why I said, bro, I think they got, I really seriously, I don't know, I might sound like a conspiracy theory or a conspiracy theorist at this point when it come to the writer thing, but I really don't think I'm wrong. There has got to be some type of hatred towards these comic book writers because they bleed into these contents. And Marvel does not just Marvel, DC and whatever, they don't appreciate them enough. They don't appreciate the stories they made enough. I understand wanting to go into a new direction or having to change things, but like, bro, you got to just come with a different integrity. And they don't. Honestly, we kind of see the same thing with live action when it comes to anime. It don't take on the same integrity as that anime that we watched, as that manga we read.
Nigga, they put Goku in high school.
They made bro. If we go to like Evolution, T, I know you remember that one.
Mm-hmm.
That was such y'all exactly. See, y'all, that is, you know, anybody that's seen Evolution cannot sit here and say that was not a slap in the face to Akira Toriyama in the Dragon Ball series. It was a slap in the face, bro. Like, it's even, like I said, even in animation, this is the case. And then again, this is a deeper, darker rabbit hole, and I'll leave it. But this is not just in the translation to their material. When you get to the big screen, this also happens in their pay. This also happens in their work hours. This also happens in their creative direction. The writers do not get appreciated. They do not. And they the ones who make us tear up when we read a comic book. They the ones that make us feel super heroic or want to go do something super heroic when we get done reading a comic book. They the ones that make people go out there and get a tattoo of Batman symbol or Superman symbol because they felt connected to stories from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. It's those people that make us connected to these characters, and they the ones that get the least respected. That is, I don't know. So, yeah, bro, I don't think that the problem is necessarily the people who have vitriol. I think the larger issue is that the content is just not to the par that comic book readers and nerds have had for decades.
I guess I can agree with that. I don't even know how we got on that topic to begin with.
X-23. Whole thing came from that.
We shall see. We shall see how they go. But if we start seeing less women in these shows, don't say I didn't warn you. Nonetheless, let's go to just quick tidbits to notice during the Sidney Gordon podcast. Brand New Day trainer states that Tom Holland learned jiu-jitsu while filming Brand New Day. Interesting to know that. He also worked alongside Jackie Chan's stunt group as well on that project, so that is very interesting. An X-Force project is reportedly in the works at Marvel Studios. That seems pretty nice as well. Is the Luke Cage thing like verified or no? We'll do Netflix and WB. Supposedly Netflix Ted Sarandos now says that they will keep a 45-day theatrical window for Warner Bros. Movies if the sales go through, which I think is a regular theatrical window. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
It probably is a little bit longer. Things that people said that Netflix wouldn't do, they are now doing. And supposedly, what's his face? What's that other Skydance, Paramount still can't get the message. Still coming back like a discorned ex. So hopefully, again, they don't get that. And then Mr. Miracle animated show to come to DCEU. This potentially will give us characters like Darkseid, Ryan, Sot, and Barda, which I believe they said in an interview recently is that they already casted, or they're working on casting them right now. And I think they already casted Darkseid.
Okay, so That's huge because please correct me if I'm wrong. The thing with this what is James Gunn DCEU
It has been. He has
is
been
that if the character is casted on the animation side, it's almost like a confirmation for the live action as well, because he wants those same people to kind of like voice the actual live action portion that we get. So if they said they've already casted Darkseid for this animated Mr. Miracle show, is it safe to say that we are going to be having Darkseid in
At some
the
point, though.
DCEU?
That's how I'm
Yeah.
curious how James Gunn is gonna take where he's gonna take all of this, because there's a lot of characters that he's introducing us to very quickly, and I'm curious how fan bases in a society where niggas don't even read as much as we used to. I'm curious how fan bases are gonna be able to deal with all of that content coming at them so quickly.
And I feel like they're not gonna be able to do that shit with the voice actors and people in movies, because it's like, bro, he already came out with the Gods and Monsters slate. We didn't get the Amanda Waller series he said was coming out. We didn't get the Wonder Woman, the Mascara series. We didn't get the Authority movie that's supposed to be coming out. We don't even have a fucking Batman. And I'm supposed to think that Darkseid could be cast, but it's like, bro, too much happens in Hollywood for people to be like, yeah, I'm about to sign on for voice acting Darkseid in a video game, TV series, and a live action movie. And it's like this
Over like what, 15 years to 20 years?
like, bro, you might be able to do that with David Cornsweat or Hawk Girl or whoever you pick for, your title heroes. But it's like, bro, these side characters, you can literally just get other voice actors to voice these people, because unless he got time next year to do all of this shit in like one day or 1 month or 1 week, it's like, bro, that's just not happening.
It's a good point. It's hard to understand.
I think a voice actor's schedule is not nearly as time consuming as a regular actor's schedule.
But like more than that, it's less like, bro, that's 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's, because you got to understand, we not getting Darkseid right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we not getting nowhere
Probably
soon.
sometime soon. Probably
I
sometime soon.
don't think so. I
We
don't
already
think that.
getting Brainiac. That's a pretty big.
Like, bro,
character
do they?
already
Okay,
in the
let me
timeline.
ask you this.
Different.
Let me ask you this. When is the timeline for Batman? Like the James Gunn Batman?
2028, I believe.
There is no timeline. He ain't finished the script.
I think they're close to finishing this.
A tweet set came out and was like, James Gunn, they're close with they're completed the Batman script. He said not even close. We're supposed to have Wonder Woman apparently in this shit, but it's like, bro, he's come out and promised this. I guess, wanting to have the studio be like, look what I can promise and look what I can deliver.
Yeah.
But it's like, bro, like, you have Superman that you have out right now. The next thing, if I'm a studio and I care about money, like Rob said, studios gonna focus on where the money is going. The next motherfucker you better put out is Batman. Or it's gonna be somebody else that everybody like. Do not put out Superman and then give me a fucking, what was that girl name in that movie? The robot joint.
I don't even know. I'm not even gonna lie and
Don't
try.
put out Superman and then give me a Mr. Terrific TV show thinking everything will be peachy keen. Because that shit is not gonna fly.
Yeah, I do agree. I think you at least got to touch on more of the Justice League characters, which like the main characters, which I do think that they are doing that though. Like, you figure this year we get Lanterns, which is going to give us more of a serious look at the Lantern Corps, because we can't say that we've gotten a serious look from that Superman movie. I know that there was supposed to be a cameo or a showing of Wonder Woman in the next Man of Steel or Man of Tomorrow movie. And then as well as that, I did think that there was supposed to be a Wonder Woman film that was also supposed to be in development, coming off the heels of that Man of Tomorrow film. So if all of those things kind of go in that order, that's pushing Batman back like quite a ways, bro. We not getting the DCEU Batman until like maybe 2030, maybe even a little bit beyond that.
No, they gonna put a gun to his head and say, announce a Batman movie right now.
I don't think they'll have to though, because the thing is that that's why I think they didn't just completely scrape what's his name? The dude that's doing Batman part 1 and part 2. Yeah. I think that's why they didn't completely scrape it, because they knew there was a chance that Batman might come a little bit later. So it's like, let's put this Batman in here now so that way they have some Batman to have, but we can't really or at least we don't think we can successfully introduce Batman until maybe a later point within this saga that they doing.
They have to bring in their Batman now, because if Robert Pattinson's Batman has been delayed 5 years and it's coming out 2028, you have to bring in your Batman, because you don't want that confusion to be, oh, this is why Batman isn't here, because James Gunn said that Batman don't even fit the universe. What would Robert Pattinson Batman be able to do in that Superman movie?
Not a damn thing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Yeah.
So he wouldn't even be able to fight us. The way his shit was going. So it's like, bro, I think James Gunn has to realize, like, bro, you have all of DC. This isn't Marvel where you have some parts of Hulk,
right,
some parts of Spider-Man, some parts of the X. It's like, bro, you have every character at your disposal. You gave us a movie, you gave us Creature Commandos, you gave us Peacemaker. It's like, bro, it's time for you to get
big dogs
together and give us the big dogs, and you can introduce the Authority and all these niggas in pieces. Like Guardians ain't start off.
But what if it is kind of like staggered? Like, not like they are doing it, but they just do it and there's breaths between it. You get Superman, you get a little bit of a breath between it with other content and characters coming out, but then you get Wonder Woman. Then you get a little bit of a breath, and you maybe get introduced in between that, the same way that between Superman and Wonder Woman we get introduced to Green Lanterns through a series. Maybe you get introduced to Martian Manhunter through a series, and then after the gap, that's what's the big dog that kind of covers the gap between Wonder Woman and Batman. I'm not saying it's necessarily what I want. It's just really hard for me to believe that like they gonna have a Batman ready by no earlier than 2030. It's just hard to see. Like, I hear you, and I don't disagree with you. I just can't see them, like, especially if they haven't finished the script. They got all of this other content that's coming out. I don't see it before 2030. And then that's the thing. Pattinson's come out in 28. You're not going to want to have two Batmans coming out in 28.
Yes, they would, nigga.
That don't seem valuable.
If it would be difficult for two Wolverines to be in the same universe,
together,
it's damn sure gonna be difficult to have two different Batmans in this motherfucker.
Bro, at the same year.
No.
Different from Wolverine.
No.
I'll give you that they both can exist, but like in the same year, the movie coming out in the same year.
It can work because it's two different universes in DC.
The issue with that though is they're going to be facing the idea of comparison at every waking moment. And the main thing James Gunn doesn't want right now is for his Batman to have to be compared to what's the other dude's? Matt Reeves Batman. Cause Matt Reeves Batman been cooking. First Batman was fire. If Matt Reeves come out and his Batman project is even better than James Gunn Brave and the Bold, nigga, all pandemonium is gonna be happening at DC.
Nigga, why the fuck? They're already comparing his Superman to Henry Cavill. That's a everyday thing.
The comparison's gonna get made, but I just don't know if I would want them in the same.
I think
year.
The level of the movie is gonna be drastically different. I think Matt Reeves is gonna double down and he's gonna make an even better Batman film. And if that Batman film that James Gunn puts out is not good, he's going to face repercussions for it. And I think he does not want that. Huh?
The Superman movie wasn't even good.
Depends on
it
who
wasn't.
you talk to.
I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was bad.
It wasn't. People can say it wasn't bad, but if you have a DCU Batman and it's going up against another Batman, okay, cool, we got two Batmans. But it's like, bro, they can't just jump ship now from one Batman movie. His Batman already gonna have Damian Wayne. Excuse me. So he's been around for a minute.
Yes, they could do Wonder Woman.
Because we already know this world has had superheroes around for 300 years. Pattinson Batman seemed like the first nigga to ever put on a cape and cowl.
In his universe.
Yeah, they like, what the fuck going on? So if you got a Batman that's been around 300 years, I don't think Brave and the Bold is the first story you should tell anyway. But it just establishes that the whole Bat family is already there. So they going to have to work with something, though. Because if you got...
All right, so let's roll with it, though. Let's roll with it. Because the original point was I don't see a Justice League movie or a movie that would contain Darkseid for years to come, and I think I can still make that argument even around this. If you got a Wonder Woman and Batman that come out, and two Batmans, one James Gunn, one Matt Reeves, Wonder Woman come out in 2028. Okay, so now you got by the end of 2028, you got a Trinity. Is that Trinity what you use to bring Darkseid in?
No.
All right. So then now we still need to introduce possibly a Flash, which ain't been the most successful thing. It's kind of like I don't know what the comparison is. Well, Green Arrow up until what maybe changes with or Green Lantern, what maybe changes with this new series that they make. But like Flash is going to be something. So when do we get Flash? We get Flash if we get Batman and Wonder Woman in 28. Y'all think we get Flash in 30?
Bro, we can have them introduced. I don't think they need like they own movie first in order to be Justice League members. It's like, bro, you can have Batman. Like they all should know about each other at this point. You see what I'm saying? Like in the comics.
By that point, yeah.
They're just fighting their own villains. You see, but it's like, bro, like the Flash don't need his own movie. Green Lantern already got.
So let's do a series for him. Series is the only thing we've seen that has been successful for Flash.
You don't even need a series for Flash. We just had the Flash series. If I'm James Gunn, I'm not doing another series because you gotta want to.
So you saying cameo, just a quick cameo with Flash?
Cameo in like 2 movies because you don't want this oversaturation of having every hero having their own shit. Because then, like we saying, it's gonna be.
It's gonna push it back.
Because we got CW Flash. You gonna put out 1 season of Flash. It's gonna be compared to 9 seasons of the CW joint. And it's like, bro, have him cameo and he appear in the movie. Cool, because you don't want to oversaturate.
Okay.
Have all these heroes being shown because then you got too much material that's out there that people gotta.
That's fair. That's fair. And then, so let me ask you this: is the next film after that a Justice League film? After Batman and Wonder Woman in 28, would the next film be a Justice League movie?
You don't even need a Justice League movie. You could have like 3 to 4 people in a movie. You can have a DC Trinity movie. Because if you go in Justice League, you don't want to go Darkseid. You can go Amazo.
Off the rip, right? Yeah.
You go Amazo. You can go.
So what would this man contract be if he's signing it this year for Mr. Miracle?
So
that contract had to be long as hell if he going to be in a live action too.
Since he only voice acted.
That's why I agree with you that I think it's only voice acting.
You got 1 season. We're gonna sign you for 1 season of this, and then a second season if it's greenlit. But it's like bringing the nigga on as Darkseid or whatever. It's like, bro, like some stuff they don't have to rush into it because once you rush in Darkseid and bring it Justice League together, like, bro, you want to rush in Amazo. That's really a character where you can be like, you know what? Flash's abilities were stolen. Superman's durability was stolen. Wonder Woman's fighting prowess. Batman's instant, like all of that shit. That's how you bring them together. Don't just, we about to compile Justice League to fight Darkseid. We just seen Darkseid. We seen Thanos. You have to have some type of differentiation in your big bad.
We know Ra's exists in this universe. Tower of Babel won't be necessarily a bad idea.
And even with Batman, it's like, bro, you don't have to do Brave and the Bold having his son. You got a new Batman. Show this Batman in some Quarter Owl shit.
That'd be so cool.
Show him in a Hush movie. It's like, bro, you have so much that they announced already, and it's gonna be compared to too much. But they don't have to rush into the Justice League. I think Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman could have their movies before 2030, 2031. But if you're trying to rush into a Justice League, this whole shit about to explode.
You say that's way, way, way down the line.
Yeah.
Like Marvel did, where it was like we had a lot established before we got the Avengers movie.
Because we already got the Hall of Justice with Hawkgirl, Green Lantern, Mr. Terrific, and Superman sometimes. So it's like, okay, you got that crew, but it's like, it's some shit really, we already seen shit go down and we had Mr. Terrific. I get that. But you want those Flash, Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern niggas to be your Justice League. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, it's a legacy thing there. It's just that's who you're supposed to see. You could add an extended cast of whoever you want, but certain legacy characters, yeah, I wouldn't want to call it Justice League if you're not using those characters. Darkseid just voice actor now.
yes.
Alrighty then.
All right.
Luke Cage did bring up that Mike Coulter did bring up that I guess he was in talks, but obviously he couldn't say anything more. I'm interested to see what the MCU does for him, but to be honest with you, that first season was so god awful. With Cottonmouth, I'm okay right now.
Here we go.
He had 2 seasons though, right?
Yep.
I thought he just had one.
No, he had 2 seasons. The second joint was worse than
Yeah,
Black
he did.
Lightning.
That first season was so bad, I didn't even click on the second one.
Honestly, yeah, if he had a second
Jessica
season,
Jones
I didn't watch
was
it.
immensely better than that. Obviously, Daredevil was the best one out of all of them, but Jessica Jones and Daredevil and Punisher probably share that top spot. But Jessica Jones was like an unsung hero. I ain't gonna lie. I thought her joint was pretty good too.
And real quick, how we talking about like how they be shoehorning shit or whatever. Sometimes when they start shoehorning, let me not say shoehorn, but when we get a character on the screen, it be the most stereotypical nigga shit on the planet. I get Luke Cage as a black dude.
His enemy's name was Cottonmouth.
Nigga, and why the fuck? Yo, you mean to tell me you couldn't change Nut from the comic? He couldn't get a job in construction? This nigga sweeping up a barbershop? And it's like, bro, this not gonna resonate with your nerves. Nigga, how many, like, bro, come on. Like, this shit is not gonna resonate. You working with an old man and doing this and this. And it's like, bro, like, this is not some 90s superhero sitcom. Like,
I don't think that was
modernize
going specifically for the nerds. I think they were trying to open it up for different demographics, such as black people, who would understand that. The reason why,
Yeah,
again,
but-
they probably include a lot more women because the MCU fan base, I believe, is 47% women when they started to add more women on in the big screen. So
And how did that turn out for that Marvel's box office? 47% MCU fans.
I'm gonna be a buck with you. They could have made a way more unique, like Luke Cage. You know how certain characters just like you go back and look at they like OG story or OG origin, and you like, this a little dated for the times. We could probably have some creative liberties. I feel like Luke Cage's origin story can have them liberties. I don't think a lot of black people in 2025 or 2020 or whatever year it came out in, because I know it was in 2025, but I don't think a lot of black people in this modern time really want a story that's starting with, oh, this Negro was in prison. Let's start there. And his enemy's name is Cottonmouth.
Because look at how many characters we have in comics that we could be having shows and movies about, and then it's some stereotypical nigga shit, and you like, all right, like, this isn't gonna appeal to your mass audience. Like, this, nobody's gonna tune in to watch this nigga keep saying "Sweet Christmas." What the fuck? What the fuck are we doing? Modernize it. Why was people so attached to the Punisher shit? To the, like, and that's the thing. When it comes to us and minority shows and movies, it's marketed only to us. It's not marketed in a way where everybody would want to see it. It's like, yeah, let's show these black people we got a black man and doing black man stuff. Let's show this woman we got girl power and she can do shit just like the men. But then when it comes to the white man getting his own series, it's focused on the suspense, the action, the story. Boom. It's not focused on throwing out signals to other demographics saying, hey, look, we got you in here. Hey, look, this and this in there. It'll just show up.
So I'm saying you focus on that, it always diminishes the story. Just focus on a good story. If it's a good story, this is the thing that for whatever reason, Hollywood, if you're listening, please just listen up for a second. If you tell a good story, guess what? It's gonna have those components in it. It will have them in it. If you're telling a story that involves a black character, we could do this with anything, a black character, Jewish character, a female character, whatever. If you have a story that contains those people, if it's a good story, those elements will weave themselves out because it's weaved in who they are. So in order for you to tell a story, like if you're going to tell a story that involves a black man, if you tell a good story, it's going to answer it. It's going to answer it. It just will. It will answer it. Again, the Wonder Woman example. It's a story about a woman. Yes. But it's just a good story. So it naturally weaves that line. You can't, if you start tripling and doubling down on, and it's because I'm a woman that I was able to do this, or it's because I'm a black man that I was able to do this, or it's because of my religious background that this was able to come together like this. It ain't, you don't gotta tell me. You don't have to tell me that that's the case. Let the story invoke that understanding for me. Stupid. Black, what's his name? Luke Cage looked like a spoof of what was that show? Was it called Dynamite? What was that? No, what was that show?
Black Dynamite?
Black Dynamite. Yeah, it was a spoof. It was literally a spoof of Black Dynamite. Like, bro, black superhero Dynamite, man. Oh, come, bro, it was trash.
And hear me out, because a lot of black people ain't like Luke Cage. It's
No.
not just, white people like because it was black. It's like, no.
No, I've not met a single black person that liked Luke Cage.
I ain't even meet no Spanish people that like Blue Beetle. That motherfucker make $130 million per month. So we can't sit here and be like, it's only white people that don't want to. Hispanic niggas don't even want to see they shit.
Like, give me my money.
Oh hell! But it's like,
I ain't doing all.
They don't be focused on. Like, bro, I get you want to be silly and have like the family element in it and show the cultural element and have this in there. But when you showing a teaser and you got fucking George Lopez in a Blue Beetle movie and you got all this goofy other, it's like, bro, like this is nerds is gonna be like, oh yeah, this shit ain't for me. This ain't worried about no story. This worried about some George Lopez.
And then when the cultural group see it, you know what their response is? This is terrible. This is just a terrible movie. Sorry, but like that's how the reality of it. That's what people not seeing.
And one other thing, we have to stop doing this thing where a woman, female director gets female characters. Black directors get black characters. If we keep doing that, that's all they're ever going to get. And how many times do we get female-led characters or black characters? If Jordan Peele comes to the MCU and they say, okay, we're going to use you for Blade, why can't you use him for a Guardians movie? Why can't you use him for a Thor movie or an X-Men?
Yeah.
Why can't you use the female director for an X-Force movie? You're saying that she doesn't understand action. She doesn't understand this and this. But, oh, no, we're going to use you for the Kitty Pryde Jubilee team-up TV series. It's like, when we start doing that, it's like even Michael B. Jordan.
And it's a lot of isms in that. It's a lot of isms behind that. They've come out and say it. They've said when it's been black directors who's been tasked with doing the black content, and when they want to kind of maybe develop the story as one that they could actually relate to and with their experience as writers or directors or whatever, the studios is coming back to them like, nah, make that blacker. Or if it's a woman, make that more woman. They coming out saying it.
Michael B. Jordan said when he was on set of Black Panther, he loved seeing all black people, but it didn't make sense that everybody in the movie was black. Everybody in the film production, from the camera crew to the makeup crew to the arts crew to the fight choreographer. He said if you were able to get all black people for one movie, you were able to hire us for all of your other movies. Why do niggas only get a chance to work on a movie when it's a black character?
Because white people don't want to hire them.
Who is the white people? The white folks at Marvel, and that's exactly why Jordan Peele will
That's
come
white
in.
folks
And as soon as we
all
see Jordan Peele,
across the
we know
board.
he getting a black movie. Because
That's
niggas
white
be like,
folks.
yeah, Jordan Peele, give him Blade, give
That's
him
white
this.
folks across the board, not just Marvel.
Rob, what did you say in the group chat when Jordan Peele? A Jordan Peele Blade?
I don't think he's gonna do Blade anymore either because
That's
Monkey
exactly
Paw
what you
Studios.
said, though.
It would be nice because I think Jordan Peele, it actually seems like he actually read the comics or is willing to read the comics, and I
But you
think
can't
he would
say
be
somebody
able to get.
seems like they read the comics or is willing to read the
But
comics.
well,
These
and
niggas get paid to do their job. So if we say, yeah, it looks like he would go and read the Blade comics. If you gave me $40 million to direct a movie, I'll read whatever the fuck you put in front of me.
Yeah.
But sometimes, again, niggas didn't, like in the past, they didn't tell people to read the comics. They wanted a fresh perspective. It all depends on what direction they want to go to. Now, the smartest decision would be to have them read the comics. And Jordan Peele looks like the type of nerdy nigga to go and read the comics.
But
That's
he
why
can
I
read
think
more
sure, but to like, I love the point that D brought up, the example that he used before. Why does Jordan Peele look better for a? Now let's think about what he's done. He's done Get Out, so he's done horror. He's done sci-fi. He did Twilight Zone. That was also sci-fi. Like real. And when we talking like sci-fi, to specify it more, we talking like
he would be better in the Midnight Suns. In comparison to
he would probably, honestly, he would probably do better in like a like something like I'm thinking more abstract than that. Like, I feel like, yes, could he do a Midnight Suns? But I feel like he kind of going to like a really weird bag.
Yes.
Like weird bag. Like
But it's mainly
if they
horror.
did a Uatu movie or something, that's something weird.
He's mainly been sticking to the horror bag. That's why it has to do with something horror. It had and the horror aspect.
But why couldn't he do like a Wolfman? They already teased like a trailer with that, like something. Why do we gotta go to the black thing?
When you get in a director of that caliber, you not about to give that nigga Wolfman and be like, here, take this
Rob.
B-side character, this C-side character, and make him into an A character. No, nigga, I'm gonna give you the A characters. They did that with James Gunn and
Guardians. Take these group of ragtag niggas and make something out of it.
At that point in time, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't James Gunn going through his shit?
Going through what shit?
His getting canceled shit.
No, we
talking about at the
Guardians
beginning
too.
of. We talking about Guardians
when
1.
Blade 1 came out, it had a white director, Stephen Northington. It had a white writer, David S. Goyer. It wasn't. I'm saying, but it wasn't no way in the studio. The studio didn't say we got to get fucking Spike Lee or some other nigga to come up here and make this Blade movie. They got the best director that they could. But if every movie you have for black people is only for a black director, it's saying you only good enough to do these characters because you can't understand how to make a fucking Captain America movie. You can't understand how to make a Winter Soldier movie. We're going to give you these black shits.
I don't think that's the fact because white people just don't understand black characters.
Wesley Snipes.
Most white people don't understand black characters but
to D's point, why can't it?
Every black character don't have to be some culturally black from the South or African American character.
I'm not saying that they have to.
New Orleans. Blade is from Louisiana.
I'm not saying that they have to.
The director was an English special effects director. The writer, a white man from the U.S. They made a Blade movie that everybody loves. You don't have to sit there and be like, oh, well, they don't understand black people. Every single black character you see is not going to be the same as every black person that you know. I don't expect fucking Blade to act like us. I don't expect Blade to act like RDC niggas. I don't expect that. So are you saying a white character?
At the same time, he exudes a certain level about him where you know it's a black man. And
the first movie was directed by a white man.
And that's cool, but this is a different direction. This is a new day and age. It's a lot more black people directing.
But to D's point
right
is that,
now,
but that's the thing is,
back then.
But that's the thing. Does it have that? To D's point, does it have to be that when you get the black director, they have to go with the black character?
They don't have to. That's what I'm saying. He would
But
be
that's
even
what
better with the
happens.
Midnight Suns because it has the horror aspect. It has more aspects that's more,
Like as an example, okay, I can roll with you with that. That's more, like you said, it's more the horror side. It's more of a diverse casting. It's not just necessarily something that's focused on the black character. I would like if they did look at Jordan Peele in that light. But like, how could, like, is that, like, I wonder, like, is that the issue for why they having such a hang up with Blade? Is because they maybe are trying to find
no
a black director?
I don't think that's the case. I think they just have a lot of they've been under a lot of scrutiny, and everything that they produce is under a microscope. So if you again release,
Yeah, you don't want to
that's
mess up
less-
Blade.
If you release anything that's less than the Wesley Snipes first Blade, niggas are automatically going to be
Yeah,
shitting
that's
on it.
fair.
And
That's
Jordan Peele-
fair.
but Jordan Peele is the answer to that.
I think
Because
Jordan Peele is a
because
great
you assume
director.
he can read comics.
I'm
That's
pretty
what
sure
I'm going off
Jordan
what you
Peele
said.
reads
From
comics.
your logic, you assume he could read comics, so he's the answer for Blade because he looked like a nigga that's gonna do his homework.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I want to
if
pick him
Jordan-
over. I want to pick Jordan Peele to do Blade over what's his name? Dennis Villeneuve, the guy that did Dune and Blade Runner and Alien Covenant, and I want to pick him over. I want to pick him over him.
Because then when we think about it, when you say black directors only get black people, you typecast the titular character to be a certain type of black, to be cool, suave, acting that way. White people can go and be a movie and be disheveled. Look at Christian Bale, can be some obsessive type of white dude in American Psycho. Can go be Batman. Two different types of people. You don't need a black director to bring that out of an actor. They can have that.
And it don't just apply to, like, to your point, it does not just apply to black. Think it's kind of offensive. Why can't we have, and I think they starting to actually figure it out, because I have seen female directors in some things that's been like really masculine in a way, and they killed it. So I think that the idea of it is starting to shift. I think it's taking a little bit of a slower time with specifically black, but it has traditionally been the same thing with women, where it's like, if we getting a woman director, we getting a woman director because it's a woman-led film, and it's like, bro, we undermining a lot of people's talent in that regard. Like, if we, like, that's why I love that Ryan Coogler is doing X-Files. I hope that it's not like an ultra black series. I really hope X-Files that is not in the DNA of X-Files. I hope that he just doing like a traditional X-Files, and whoever is the best actors and actresses to play the leads in that film is the people who play the roles in those films. I really hope it just goes like that. I hope the reason why they didn't get I hope when we get the X-Files, the reason why they got Ryan Coogler is because they wanted to have a minority lead for the X-Files as a contrast to the original X-Files. I don't know. I'm with D. I'm just tired of seeing stuff like that.
Because the Daniel Dustin Creighton nigga, he did Shang-Chi and he gets Spider-Man. They didn't say, okay, nigga, we gonna hold you off till Shang-Chi 2. Like, niggas is just, why do we have to accept the fact that we can only get black directors to make every character that's directed relatable black? A black director, let's say Ryan Coogler is from Compton. He a different type of black man from a black man from Atlanta, from a black man from Schenectady or Toronto or fucking the UK.
But the same thing, y'all are saying this right now. When we look back at Black Panther and how niggas was on set, niggas, the white men that was in charge were scared of Chadwick Boseman because he was using his African accent. There was a point in time they didn't even want him to have an African accent. This is what I'm talking about. I understand what y'all saying, but sometimes
Yeah, but I
you
don't.
need a
I
nigga.
think that no,
Sometimes
but
you need a nigga.
like I hear
Scared
you.
of an accent, Rob.
Yes.
No,
You can
that's
look
true.
it
What
up.
he's saying is true. That actually
can
did
look it
recently
up.
come out. That blew my mind. I was like,
We
what are
got
you talking
one
about?
example of niggas not wanting to use
But I think, but that's even at that though, bro. I do think that there are like white directors out there that would have enough integrity that, especially if they read the comic book material, to be like, nah, bro, he needs to have this accent. You need to relax. If you got a problem with this, you please get off the set because you can't handle the material at hand. I think that regardless if it was a black director or a white director, I just think that any director that would be familiar with the story of T'Challa and Black Panther, they would speak up to that not being okay, and that change is one that when it worked. So I don't think that you necessarily need to have a black director to protect the integrity of that character in that moment. I just think you need a director that cares, and that can come in any form.
I just think sometimes, like, I'm not saying that niggas just gotta direct nigga-led films. I've never said that. I just thought that Jordan Peele, with his horror background, either a Blade or a Midnight Suns movie, would be right up his alley. Because he has a good foothold in a unique side.
Yeah, I think I do. I get that. I do get that. More so Midnight Suns.
More so Midnight Suns, because you're going to have more so of a horror element in that one.
What
in
action
comparison,
movie has he directed?
That's the other part, though, is that there is a lot of action in these movies that we talking about.
Did a good job with Get Out, and people like the what's that movie called? If or Us movie. I get the horror. I get the horror aspect. Just because you did the horror, like we got Midnight Suns, we got Wolverine, Doctor Voodoo, Doctor Strange, whatever. We got Johnny Blaze, we got Blade. This is a movie that's gonna be gory. It's gonna have some intense action. Your biggest action piece is niggas using baseball bats and deer antlers to kill one person at the end of their movie. So horror be damned. Like you can give them a different movie or a series or a different character, but if we talking about horror and using this type of violence with these characters, hell no.
See, and that's why.
Before, so I mean, it's not the only thing that he was talked about. I don't know what they talked about.
But where does it? But again, that's like, see, now when we start talking X-Men, it's like, but where does he line? Like, that's why it's just, I just want the right, like, look, if a person is really good with a certain type of movie or with a certain type of theme, then I just kind of want them to go into the direction that like that just kind of fits that. Like when we got. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Like sometimes I get giving somebody a chance. Like, give me 1 second, because I want to look this up before I say this.
While you look that up now, real quick, James Wan, director of the Conjuring series, he was given Aquaman 2 to make it a horror movie with the trench. That shit was a joke.
I've never heard of that director before a day in my life.
Give a fuck if you heard about him. I'm telling you about him. He's a horror director. And then when they said we need action, nigga, and then we get Aquaman 2, you can't tell me one fight scene.
What movies have he produced that have proven himself on his own studio? I don't know that nigga.
I'm talking about The Conjuring and Insidious, all that shit. If you direct them type of movies, you know he got horror.
Last good Conjuring.
So, but okay, in defense, so Rob, say. The first Conjuring was good. The second one was alright. The second one was alright.
He doesn't have a plethora of good movies under his belt in comparison to a Jordan Peele, who has a unique. Sometimes
you do need to take a little risk and try to introduce somebody new. I do get that, because that's what I was looking up. Like Christopher Nolan, when he took on the Dark Knight trilogy, he at that point had not done any film like that. Memento wasn't like that. Insomnia wasn't like that. They were more suspenseful films, but in defense, there still was kind of like a connection in there, because I think they knew the direction that they wanted to take. WB wanted to take with this next Dark Knight trilogy is they wanted it to be a little bit more serious and more suspenseful. So I think that's where he did kind of have like the leverage for what they were looking for, but he ultimately didn't do a film like the Dark Knight trilogy up at that point. So I do understand taking risks, but I just don't always want, like, I want you to be able to take that risk when you have, not because of the name, but because of the trajectory that you plan, like you planning. Like when I see Chris Nolan in that position for Dark Knight, that I can see that, okay, Warner Brothers likely had a plan, and that plan was for a more suspenseful Batman. So it makes sense to take that risk with somebody who's proven themselves in that suspenseful role. If they got a theme, right, whether it's X-Men or something, and Jordan Peele makes sense for it, despite maybe not having the experience, then I think that'd be cool. But what I don't want is just them saying, well, Jordan Peele's a popular big name right now, so we should use him for the X-Men, or we should use him because, going back to the point that I made with like, why, like, I understand Wolfman ain't a big character, but if Jordan Peele might be able to make a really good Wolfman movie, and if that is the case, why not let him make that movie? Why not put him in the position for what he's been proven in to make that movie great, if that's the trajectory you going?
The amount of money they would have to pay
Maybe,
Jordan
but
Peele,
bro,
they need A-list characters. You're not going to get Jordan
you could
Peele
get
off
A-list
the
characters for you, but you possibly could. Again, that's why I say stories matter so much, because you could possibly get A-list characters and a really good story for a character like Wolfman. Wouldn't be your traditional comic book character or your comic book story that you would think to write a story around, but that doesn't have to necessarily mean that Jordan Peele, with his credentials, couldn't make a really compelling, good Wolfman. Is it the main character that you want to see out of Marvel? No. But if you have a plan for, we want to use Jordan Peele because his strength will make sense for this specific trajectory that we're going, go for it. But if that's not the case, and you just doing it because he's a big name, so we have to pair him with a big title, I don't like that, because I don't think that necessarily means that you have to have success from that. I don't think that spells necessarily success from that. Let the trajectories line up. Let the narrative trajectory line up. Don't just do it because he's a big name. Find something that will work for him in that position. Well, even if you are taking a jump.
Well, let me throw this out there. So they're saying Jordan Peele, Midnight Suns, because of the horror side of things, right? Why not Ari Aster? Do y'all know who that is?
No, sir.
No,
Have you ever seen the movie Hereditary or Midsummer?
Yeah.
That director.
Okay.
Now, I think that he would bring the vibe that we need for, like, to make it eerie and scary, because he does a good job with it not being like a physical type of horror, but more atmospheric.
Yeah.
Did it have action?
Hereditary did have action. Watch the last 30 minutes, Bucko.
Was it an action movie or was it horror? What was the genre? Horror, right? So it had bits of action, just like every horror movie does.
But see, that's where I would say the same thing that I would say with Jordan Peele is, like, you also have to consider is if that director would line up better for something that had a more horror concentrated element to it. You know what I'm saying?
Jordan Peele and
like,
Ari Aster is like the same type of directors. They both do dark comedy, horror, and some of these stuff got graphic violence in it.
So that's why if Midnight Suns, thank you for using those specific concepts within their films. If Midnight Suns was meant to go into a trajectory that was horror, dark comedy, and graphic violence, sure. But if action, to Dee's point, if action is the primary trajectory that you're trying to pull from that film, you may need to find somebody who would. That's why I say the guy who did Dune and the Denis Villeneuve dude. I think that he's perfect for. I thought that he was perfect for Blade. I think that he'd be perfect for Midnight Suns, because he has that background. He has where it is like a level of action to it. He's worked with Tenet, the Christopher Nolan movie. He's done Mad Max. He's done Blade Runner. He's done things that have a level of action to it, but also have a level of sci-fi, and also you could even say have a level of horror to it. Well, yeah, because Aliens has a level of horror to it. He's worked on things like Rogue One, even though it wasn't a great movie. Again, action has elements to it, things you can learn from. He's worked on things like Prometheus, the Alien show. Again, going back to like the horror, going back to the sci-fi. He has a really good background in what could possibly be the themes that you kind of want to see as the trajectory of the film. That's why I pick him over somebody like Jordan Peele, or even this Ari guy who did Hereditary and Midsommar, because again, it just seemed like it's how it get people that, you know, they line up with what you're trying to do. That's all. Just what are you trying to achieve in this movie? Well, we want this to be an action movie with a little bit of horror. Does that sound like what Jordan Peele should be doing?
Well, here's the thing, though.
No.
You gotta remember, what's one thing Marvel always has in every last one of the movies, even when they don't need it. So they're not that the gentleman. Yes, he does line up. I feel you on that one. But when you're missing that comedy portion that they try to push, especially with this being Midnight Suns type of movie, you don't have nobody that's really going to throw a joke in there. Like, if you look at the lineup, who's supposed to be like the comic relief? To be honest, you got Blade.
It shouldn't be that type of a movie.
I understand that, but this is Kevin Feige. It's Marvel. They're going to throw some type of
but see, that's where we start getting that. I put that in the same category as the forced cultural stuff. Like, I throw that forced comedy in that realm where it's like, bro, you gotta, nothing good comes out of the forced content, regardless of what the forced content is, whether it's focus on characters' physical or religious or sexual orientation / backgrounds, or whether it's comedy. Stop trying to force these. Midnight Suns don't need to have a comedic element to it. It doesn't. Blade doesn't need to have Blade. You can have Blade do, like, you can have characters do like little quips and whatnot, but like, it don't need to be a focus. It doesn't need to be a focus.
It's never.
But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
It's not like Blade back in the day. Like, that was straight action. There wasn't really a joke thrown in there. But we're in the age of the MCU where every movie has to have some forced joke.
Who have we been introduced to so far from Midnight Suns? Daredevil? Deadpool?
Possibly Ironheart.
Deadpool in Midnight Suns?
He was.
Is he?
Possibly Ironheart. I'll probably guess that Wolverine will be a part of that at some point.
Blade, Morbius. So the traditional ones have been Blade, Morbius, Ghost Rider.
Moon Knight might make an appearance on the MCU's version at least.
Okay, but Midnight's, like, if we just go by what they would be naming it after, which is Midnight Suns, right? Like the comic book Midnight Suns, the traditional members have been, members that we've had. The current members are Blade, Kushala the Spirit Rider, Magic, Nico Minoru, and Wolverine. Those are the current members. Previous members have been Johnny Blaze, Elsa Bloodstone, Caretaker. I'm not going to go through the whole list, but notable names: Doctor Strange, Dr. Voodoo, Iron Fist. Names that we've seen before.
Since Mephisto is going to be the big bad for the Supernatural.
Yeah. Moon Knight, Morbius, Scarlet Witch, Werewolf by Night. These characters that we've been familiar with in the MCU are the only ones I'm mentioning. Wong. Oh my God, if they put Wong in the Midnight Suns oh my God.
That'll be your comedic relief right there.
That's it though, but that's who it would be. That's the character. That's the one.
So it's they're gonna have that nigga in there.
Yeah, it's Wong. Wong gonna be in Midnight Suns.
All right, y'all. When these movies come out and these niggas are like, damn, Jordan Peele actually made a good Midnight Suns, I'ma come on this damn podcast and be like,
every time.
I told you so. Just like I told y'all that superhero fatigue wasn't real. Billion views in these past Doomsday teaser trailers. Ain't even show Doctor Doom yet. Ain't no superhero fatigue.
Yo, Rob, I'm glad you touched on that real quick before we go. You sent likes and views. Them apps do not have dislike buttons with a count on it. So how do
That's
we
okay.
not know Steve
YouTube
Rogers
does.
You can dislike it, but it is not a dislike counter on there.
Okay.
I'm saying if you only showing the positives, okay, you get the views, but then there's gonna be some backlash, some negative. Why am I looking at a nigga on a motorcycle in this digestive Pepto Bismol commercial ass trailer?
Yeah, I
Dislikes.
probably wouldn't show the dislikes either, especially if they come attached with comments, because I can only imagine the comments niggas had for the Shuri one.
I'm saying just because you get the views and you only show likes, you're not showing dislikes. You're not showing both sides of the thing. You're only showing the side that you would want to show if you're one of these entities like Marvel.
Regardless of that fact, if superhero fatigue was real, it wouldn't have gotten 1 billion views without showing the main character of the movie. It wouldn't have. Doctor Doom is the main character of the movie.
Think
We haven't seen
Avengers.
him,
I
not
think
one.
I don't think that people tired of Avengers though.
Yo, but hear me out real
But
quick.
that's
when we
superhero
was
stuff.
going to see Avengers movies every week, bro. You get TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. We got all these different shits. Of course, they're gonna count the views from all these different entities. Shit's gonna be shared. Everybody gonna have their opinion to share. People gonna watch a 15-second teaser.
It wasn't
not a
even
fucking
just
Morbius
this.
8-minute
This
video
isn't
that-
from multiple different things. This is just. Is it solely from? I think it's solely from YouTube. I don't think it was. Was it? Did they say 1 billion? They said 1 billion, didn't they?
I don't think if it's from YouTube, I do not think it's 1 billion because I'm looking at it right now. It's 18 million, 17 million, 15 million, and 9.7 million. That does not add up to 1 billion.
Yo, Rob just be saying anything.
They posted it on their
Whatever.
Instagram. You can look it up.
Yes,
Marvel
that's why I
Studios.
said between all.
Oh, they
those
must
four
say
apps,
yeah.
those four things come into play.
Yeah, but that
Like-
would lead me to believe that it is no fatigue. Niggas are actually interested in seeing it. Either they're hate watching or they're actually watching. Regardless of the fact, they're watching it.
But what if it's all the same people, bro? And that 18 billion, yeah, if you count it from all of the platforms, but if it really equate down to like, let's say I'm go by their followers here on YouTube. I'll even go up. Let's say that it's really 25 or 30 million people that's watched it 4 times, because that would equal. No, that still don't even. That's still just like 100 million. All right, so that's fair. Unless people just spam watching it, because I don't think that that's the case. I don't think that like of they like if we round up and we say 30 million people that's tuned into Marvel content spammed it 30 times or like 50 times. I don't think that that's the case. So it would have to be a lot higher than that number. Which, if that's the case, that does lead to what you're saying, that it's something where it can't be fatigued because it's garnering even more people than the regular comic base that they have.
But look,
Yeah, I
a
got it on
fan
the
that they
Hollywood
have.
Reporter.
when James Gunn Superman joint came out, it talked about how many views it got in 24 hours. It talked about all these fucking views only for it to not outperform Man of Steel. Something that came out 12 years before. So just because you're getting views from trailers does not translate to niggas having fatigue. Okay, I'll watch a 30-second clip. I'm not gonna sit through a 3-hour movie.
Right?
That's the difference. The clip views.
But you know that it's gonna hit. You know that it's gonna
I'm not
hit.
saying it's not gonna hit, but I'm saying I'm not the person that's gonna sit up here and be like, look at all these likes from the like button when the dislike button is there, but you can't see how many people disliked it.
That's why I
You
didn't
can't
say
see how
likes.
many, you can't see that. So we can't just use views as something that's positive.
Yes, we can, because people have been saying it's been superhero fatigue. You don't get fatigue from something and then 1.02 billion views. You
Here's
get
the thing.
1.02
Yo,
billion
here's
the
views.
Marvels have views,
Hold on,
have
hold on,
millions of
hold on,
views for
hold
their
on, hold on.
trailers. It made
Hold on,
207
hold on,
million in the
hold on.
box office.
It's not
Those views
a
did not
billion
Hold on.
views.
Time out. I'm gonna say this. D is right. It's coming off of all those apps. It's not just YouTube.
Yeah, of
and
course they would do that.
Some people. Let me finish. Let me finish, sir. Thank you. Now, when you look at it, people say Marvel fatigue. That doesn't mean they're not going to spend 2 minutes to see if a movie is going to be worth watching. I can still go check something out, and it may not get me in the mood to go watch a superhero movie. And I might still have superhero fatigue. For the simple fact, they're putting out all these movies, and they're not hitting like they used to. So, my whole thing is, I understand. They can have all the daggone views in the world. But you can have a portion of those people that say they're suffering from Marvel, superhero, DC fatigue, and they're just watching it just to see, okay, is this movie going to be good? Is this going to get me out of my Marvel fatigue? That's all it is.
How much did Deadpool?
I have Marvel fatigue. I still watch it. What'd you say?
How much did Deadpool?
I don't know.
Yo, Rob never just want to understand where we coming from in conversation.
Well, he does not.
Understand where y'all coming from. I just blatantly disagree with y'all. Nothing in this world, if niggas was that pissed off about Marvel, it wouldn't be anything, especially nerds, because we understand how nerds are. If they poo-pooed on some shit, nigga, it wouldn't take, goddamn, it'd take the world for you to be able to want to look into it again. The fact that they got 1 billion views coming off a year where everybody was like superhero fatigue, most people clamored around Superman just because the money wasn't there. Doesn't mean anything. Most people was like, hey, Superman was a pretty good movie. Hey, Thunderbolts was a pretty good movie. Hey, Fantastic Four was a pretty good movie.
Here's the
like
thing.
Just because it
didn't.
didn't.
But here's the thing though. I still have superhero fatigue, but I still watch these movies because I'm trying to get that spark back. I'm trying.
Yes.
And Superman, I'm gonna be honest, I did not want to see that movie. I only saw it because we were going to talk about it. And that movie to me was still trash. Dog water. Right? Dog water.
I don't agree with
Most
that.
people
You may not have to agree with that because that's my opinion. You have yours, I have mine. Me and Derek are on the same page when it comes to the Superman movie. But it is what it is. You and Rob loved it. But my thing is, at the end of the day...
Yeah, love is strong.
Hold on.
But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Time out. Do I need to go back to our Superman review video and you gave it like, what, an 8 out of 10?
That doesn't mean...
Yeah, I definitely did rate it.
That shows you like it.
I liked it. I liked it. I liked it.
Thing, sir.
But, oh my goodness.
Bro, I love Dark Knight. I ain't about to say here saying I'm gonna love
like some coworkers. You don't love them like you love your family or friends. It's different.
All right, Rob, you at the end of the day, we all have our opinions. But my thing is, you can't say off of views that people still have superhero fatigue. They can still complain about it.
I don't think that's enough of a measure. I do agree with them on that.
It's not.
I'd be a buck with you. Like, I seen all of this stuff that's been coming out, and it's like...
It'd be a different story if it was
Because wait,
just the
what
views.
do views translate to?
It'd be a different story
if
it was just views.
1,000 views on a YouTube reel and we get 15 likes.
It would be a different story if it was just views. We had multiple social medias going crazy to figure out the next 120p trailer that's coming out before Avatar Fire and Ash in theaters. You had niggas clamoring every Monday, Tuesday, to the point where all of these things would start trending. X-Men started trending.
He got a point.
Fantastic Four
He got a point.
Trending. Black Panther
He got a
started
point.
Trending. Steve Rogers started trending. Thor started
Nah,
trending.
because I'm going to be a buck with you. What?
For no reason if niggas still got fatigue.
He got a point, though. He got a point, y'all. Because think about this. All of this. No, hold on. Let me just say this. Let me just say this, though. What have you seen that's had this much, like, because I done got done complaining about how much fake just like drops and leaks and etc. has been coming out in regards to these But that's what I'm saying, Rob. I just think that's for Avengers. We don't see this for anything else but Avengers.
No, hold on. Every fucking Avengers movie that comes out gets the same fucking thing. All these views, all of these. Oh, this got 1 billion views on between these apps. Oh, Avengers. Where was all these fucking views for the Marvels? Where were these goddamn views for the Thunderbolts? All of that Marvel was back.
Because you're comparing.
Where was all that? Where was all those fucking views? It's the.
But the emphasis is his word fatigue.
Singular teams, singular niggas to a whole boatload of all of the superheroes in one movie. You can't do that. You can't compare the
hold on.
Versus 50 different superheroes in the Avengers.
But why wouldn't it be fair? But hold on. Couldn't they have fatigue to Marvel? Like, they could not have fatigue for Avengers, but they do have fatigue for the other content that's coming out. Because I think that's kind of what it is.
And the Avengers movie is primarily predicated on having superheroes in that motherfucker.
Time out. When Endgame ended, probably was the last best Marvel movie that they put out. That and Infinity Wars. And after that, they were dropping hot dog water. There wasn't anything that was perfect. Hold on.
False.
Let me finish. Well, okay. In your eyes, it's false. But to everybody else that says they have eyes. Hold on. Time out. Let me speak. You've had your time. I haven't spoken a lot during this pod. Let me have my moment. Go sit in your corner next to your Lakers jersey in the back. Over there looking fake. So my whole thing is, when I say superhero fatigue, all these movies come out back to back. They gave us TV shows. They gave us movies. They gave us all these things. Yes, some were good, but some were not. And people were annoyed at the fact that it was a lot more crap than success. So it's like I'm reaching oh my gosh, they scored on that last touchdown. It's like this. Once you reach that peak, you start to fall a little bit. You're not going to stay up there the whole time, and people are just going to be like, okay, I'm gonna take a break until something great happens. Now we're getting RDJ coming back. Now we're getting like 50, 60 superheroes. Now it's going to intrigue some people that have superhero fatigue. It's going to intrigue them because of the name The Avengers, and we're getting Doom, a highly sought after character that people have been waiting for the longest time. People still have superhero fatigue. They're waiting for that next best movie to get them back up there for their peak. That's all it is. You can't say someone doesn't have superhero fatigue because they're looking for these daggone reviews or looking for anything that might be AI built or all this. It's going to happen. They built this up so that people can get their interest back. But that doesn't mean they still don't have fatigue, because if people said they didn't have Marvel fatigue, then all these shows would be getting all these views for them to play catch up. They're not. They're staying stagnant where they are, and they go up little by little. You don't see an immense amount of people going back to watch Ironheart. You don't see them going back to watch WandaVision. All these shows that they claim were bad, or even Captain America and Winter Soldier. They're not going back. If they didn't have superhero fatigue no more, Sage, they would go back and watch all that stuff in preparation for this. They are just here to watch this movie and see how RDJ does and how they carry on this story going into Secret Wars. That's all it is. They still have fatigue. They're just interested. That's all it is, dog.
The definition that I could find here for it is superhero fatigue refers to audience exhaustion with a high volume of comic book based content, often characterized by repetitive plots, formulaic storytelling, and the homework required to keep up with the interconnected cinematic universes.
Thank you.
Not according to Rob. Rob, give your definition.
That's the exact
Don't worry, we'll wait.
Since he can't agree with us.
That's the exact definition. All right,
but could people not?
We will see.
So could people not still
When Avengers comes
But
out,
all right, bro, come on.
You
telling me people you telling me that the Avengers movies can come out and be successful and people still, by that definition, couldn't still be having superhero fatigue?
I think it helps them a lot. Do I feel that people had fatigue?
Because that didn't
Yes.
answer the question.
Hold
Do
on,
they have fatigue?
Hold on. Because I think the fatigue that they had was different in comparison to what y'all saying. I don't think they specifically had superhero fatigue. I think they had fatigue for shitty projects. I think that's where the fatigue came from.
It came from
if
that,
that
and
was the
Marvel
case-
releasing all this content. That's why they slowed down on the TV show.
I've been the
My
same person
God,
saying
man.
this for mad podcasts before. I said this already. This is nothing new, sir.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be wrong for them to. It wouldn't be wrong if their argument is that people do have superhero fatigue.
Thank you.
They do that by that definition. Okay, if it's Sage, even if we, this is the thing. Just like how you said to me when I said I think it's a difference between the fatigue that people have for the movies that's been coming out outside of Avengers versus Avengers. You said, but that's still superhero content. And it's the same thing with fatigue in this case, even if it is over shitty movies, as you put it. Those shitty movies are still superhero movies. So they do still have superhero fatigue. They do still have it. They do. That's
If this shit was prevalent, then these movies still wouldn't be making $1 billion. They still wouldn't be making 800 million. I'm sorry. You can say the superhero fatigue all you want. They just hated shitty movies with shitty directions, which I agree with, y'all. Marvel has produced a lot of shit in the past couple of years. So, of course, niggas is going to get fatigued. But I don't see Invincible numbers dropping because he's a superhero. No. I don't see X-Men 97 numbers dropping because he's a superhero. No. I don't see Marvel Zombies numbers dropping since he's a superhero. No. I don't see interest dropping in Spider-Man movies coming out this year because he's a superhero. No. I don't see numbers dropping for the Avengers movie dropping later this year because they are superheroes. I don't see any of that because they were upset.
You're ignoring all the other projects that they came out with. You're only talking about the
I'm
heavy
not.
hitters.
Did
that
you
people
not
are
just
going
hear
to
me
go
say they produced a lot of shit the past couple of years? You want me to repeat it again? They produced a lot of shit the past couple of years.
Rob,
I understand y'all
was the result of
frustration.
Fantastic Four not doing as well as they thought they was going to do at the box office.
That's okay.
Robert Downey Jr. is back because niggas is tired of having to watch all these TV shows, all this other bullshit.
That's not
And like
the
you said, with these
factor.
shitty movies,
That wasn't the case. We've already been through this before. They already had this plan from the get-go. Y'all can't just keep switching up the history of these things when we know behind the scenes what was going on. They've been talking about this for years.
they've been talking about Robert Downey Jr. as Doom for years.
Yes!
Since before the casting.
It's the first role he applied for. I said this.
Rob, that was back in 2004.
What does that change?
That's from a different universe. That wasn't even MCU.
He applied to do Doctor Doom, and then, which is Marvel, and still applied to do Iron Man shortly after that. It's the same.
Wait, but you talking about the
He's
Fox?
talking about the Chris Evans Fantastic Four like this is some shit that Marvel been planning for years, bro.
He was applying for that, huh? That's two different.
That's two different
They
universes.
still had
But I
this
expect
on
nothing less
file.
Was Kevin Feige behind
Kevin
the
Feige
Fox?
was in the mix of Fox. His first job at Marvel related anything.
Yeah, but that was with
the
X-Men.
Fox X-Men.
Correct. That was with
X-Men,
X-Men.
I'm pretty sure came out
Robert
before
Downey Jr.
Fantastic
coming back as
Four.
Doom.
Huh?
Was he in the mix though? At that point, was he in the mix for what was happening at Fox?
Once they seen his audition for Doctor Doom, Kevin Feige always wanted him to come back to play Doctor Doom. That was always the plan. It was just how they were going to make it happen. That's the only issues that they were having. And then the Russo brothers was able to find that out. The only way the Russo brothers was coming back was if they were able to do Secret Wars. And then they was like, well, this is the perfect time we could use RDJ Doctor Doom. Kevin Feige was like,
Yo, you the most gullible nigga I've ever met in my life. If you really believe that shit, bro.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Multiple different leakers said it. Multiple different people said it. Kevin Feige done said it, but I'm just gullible. These
So we
niggas
supposed
all
to
gotta
sit
be
here and
lying.
believe These niggas,
These
was going
niggas
with
all
the
gotta
Kang
be
Dynasty.
lying.
Wait, Kang Dynasty was supposed to be the joint. Now all of a sudden niggas ain't like Kang Dynasty. We bring in superhero fatigue. All of a sudden Ken Feige's like, oh, well, back in 2006, I did see his audition tape and I've been fiending for him to be Dr. Doom. 20 years later, nigga?
Yes.
Come on, bro. That
Yes.
shit doesn't make sense.
How does it
No,
not?
it was this what happened. After Robert Downey Jr. left, all of our shit was lackluster, and we realized people ain't really fucking with our shit.
Spider-Man No Way Home,
We're gonna announce him?
not lackluster. Black Panther 2, not lackluster. Multiverse of Madness, not lackluster. Ironheart, not lackluster. We can name other ones. You want to say it all you want. It came on the Nielsen chart. I'm sorry.
4 projects you named since 20. When did Endgame come out? 21, 22? 19? You named 4 projects since after Rob Downey Jr. left? Nigga, that's why they bringing him back. And Chris Evans. Come on, nigga. They said bring back all the fucking OGs.
Yeah, I need to look this up.
WandaVision, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, Hawkeye, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel,
Loki.
She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, and I said Loki. Alongside Far From Home. Some people didn't really like Far From Home. Black Widow, Shang-Chi was good. Eternals, and that's why they had to cancel that. And then No Way Home. So WandaVision, some people didn't like that, so we're gonna count that as a bad project. Falcon and the Winter Soldier 2.
No, you can't count WandaVision as a bad project. You can't. I'm sorry. Objectively, it was a good project for a lot of people. Niall can attest to this.
But, okay, I liked WandaVision. I liked WandaVision, but a lot of people didn't. I had to fight people on it.
Most people liked WandaVision, is all I'm saying. So you can't count it as a bad project if most people liked it. If you putting hard-earned money behind these projects, Hawkeye was Secret Invasion,
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier was
Okay. Let's play this game. We gonna play this game right now. WandaVision, good or bad project?
Good.
The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Loki.
Good. Super good.
Hawkeye.
Borderline.
Moon Knight.
Me personally,
Butt
I
cheeks.
thought it was cool.
Miss Marvel. Butt cheeks.
Good.
No, my bad. Miss Marvel, good, but She-Hulk, Attorney at Law?
Ass.
Echo.
Ass.
That's 5 out of how many for the TV shows?
You named a whole lot of TV shows. Where's the movies at?
I didn't finish yet. I'm getting to it. Oh, even Secret Invasion. Add that in there.
That's super duper ass. The worst of it.
Black Widow. Shang-Chi.
Great. Good. Not great. Good. Borderline great.
Far From Home.
I say good. Not great. Not as good as No Way
Home. Eternals.
Me personally, I say is decent to good, but I know a lot of people called it ass, so we're gonna dump it as ass. You don't have to put your hands on your face.
No Way Home. No Way Home was probably the best project they put out. Was the best project they really put out.
Oh, my bad. No Way Home was good to great. I'm sorry. I was getting confused from Far From Home.
No Way Home was the best Spider-Man movie that they produced.
It was 1.9 billion worldwide, almost 2.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Ass.
Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Good.
Ass.
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumanium.
Ass.
Numbers don't mean. The Marvels.
I thought it was decent, but a lot of people claim it as ass. So we're gonna put it in ass.
So Kratos. Nino, what did you hear? More good than bad, or more bad than
I heard
good?
all ass.
Thank you.
Now, if I go through these first couple
Superhero
phases
fatigue
of Marvel,
at
if I go through these first couple phases, and I promise
this is
to
phase
God, if
4 and
y'all
beyond.
niggas,
This is phase
I
4 and
promise
beyond.
to God, no, y'all, you're not understanding what I'm saying. Because if y'all go through these, if we go through these first phase movies, and most of these shits is ass too, y'all ain't gonna have no
But
logical
Rob, look what we
explanation
saying.
of y'all shit. Because
Rob,
niggas,
we're talking about after Endgame.
no, because niggas was not complaining like this during the first couple phases when they was still
Rob,
dropping ass.
when the first phases dropped, we weren't getting as much content. We weren't getting all these TV shows and all these movies back to back.
That's all we're saying. We're not saying they were like.
That's the superhero fatigue.
We're not
Superhero
saying
fatigue is you got three TV shows and
back to back
two
to back
movies coming out. That mean January. That mean in this season in Q1 you got a TV show and a movie. Q2 you got 2 TV shows. Q3 you got a TV show and a movie. Q4 you got a TV show. It's like, all right, I'm always seeing superhero shit, and the shit not that great.
That's all it is.
When we first started with the MCU, and we had Iron Man, wait 2 years. Iron Man 2, wait a year. No, then you had the Hulk, wait a year. Iron Man 2, wait a year. Avengers, Captain America. We wasn't getting Netflix, Disney Plus, all this extra shit in between. We had time for that buildup. But with all these superhero shits coming out, and then they don't be fucking good, that's the fatigue.
Just say that? Did I not just say that?
No, you did not.
The projects that aren't good is the reason why the fatigue came about.
No, the fatigue came about of how much they released in so short time. Bad they were.
Well, but that's another thing though. That fatigue, that aspect of the fatigue, I do believe they said they are gonna address. It was
and they pulled
not
back.
their intentions for them to write, but that definitely was a huge portion of the fatigue, was the amount of content.
Because literally, I'm looking at this. Iron Man 2008, Incredible Hulk 2008, Iron Man 2 2010, Thor 2011, Captain America 2011. It's not like we're getting multiple movies and multiple projects each year.
Yes, y'all, you are saying this and throwing the context and nuance right out the window. Like Disney didn't just create a streaming service right after Endgame. It was like, Marvel, we need you to carry the boatload of this.
Yeah, that wasn't a smart decision.
But they didn't need to do that. They didn't need to do that.
It doesn't matter about it. They didn't need to do it. If you're getting funded by Disney, nigga, it's either you walk and do the shit that I tell you, or you fucking leave. You don't have a choice with a multi-billion-dollar corporation like that. Oh well, I don't think we're gonna carry Disney.
Yeah,
Plus
there
on
was
our
a
back.
lot of there was a lot of pressure for
that.
them in that regard.
You can't do that. Y'all missing a lot of nuance and fucking all of this shit, to the point where Marvel knew that this shit was gonna be bad. They figured it out. They had a whole meeting about it, and then said, we need to change this shit and fix it.
Well, I'm gonna leave it at this. Our point still stands. People had superhero fatigue. That's all it is. But you constantly fighting us.
Well, he not disagreeing. He didn't. After we explained that definition, I don't think he's been fighting back on it.
He said it's not superhero fatigue. They just didn't like shitty movies.
I think it's a shitty movie fatigue. I still think that, and
it's not that.
Nah, but that's not it. It matches the definition of superhero fatigue. All of the things that just have happened with Marvel with the content that's come out. It does match superhero fatigue, and that's the other thing is that unfortunately they share that element of superhero with more than just the content that they make. So, it doesn't help that Sony has also contributed to that. It doesn't help that DC has also contributed to that. It's not just Marvel's fault that people have superhero fatigue. But it is true that people, by that definition that was read earlier, they do have superhero fatigue. I get what you're saying. Like, it's like, yes, does those same superhero movies have shitty storylines? I'm not disagreeing with you that that's an aspect of it, but it's also, it's been a lot of superhero movies that haven't been good. It's been a lot. Not just putting everything on Marvel, but it's just been a lot of bad movies from the superhero genre. Is that fair? Can you agree that that's true?
No.
That there's been a lot of bad superhero movies, not just on Marvel?
Just on Marvel. What do you mean, like superhero movies?
It's not just on Marvel. Sony has made bad superhero movies. DC has made bad superhero movies. It's not just Marvel.
But here's the thing, though. Marvel released more projects from that timeline after Endgame up till now compared to Sony and DC. You don't see DC dropping like movies on a
sure, but you still couldn't put all of the blame on superhero fatigue on Marvel.
Okay, Niall, since Endgame, we got Superman, we damn near got what we get? Black Adam, Blue Beetle, Superman, Creature Commandos, Peacemaker. With Marvel, we damn near got 30 projects. I said we damn near. I'm just throwing out a number, nigga.
If you took Sony, all right, would y'all believe that it's possible that if you took the movies that Sony put out and the movies that DC put out, it possibly would be more than Marvel? Because I really feel like it's more than Marvel if you took both of them combined. And y'all said everything that's come out of DC been bad and everything that's come out of Sony been bad. So that means even the level of bad movies that came out between those two would be more than the bad movies that came out from Marvel. So I can't sit here and say Marvel. I can't even, honestly, to Sage's point, I can't even say that Marvel is the main reason versus DC and Sony if they outweigh bad movies than Marvel does.
We're not even saying Marvel the reason.
They just a portion of it.
A lot of DC shit is bad. I did not like Robert Pattinson Batman. I did not like the Superman movie.
Marvel has released 23 projects
since Endgame.
23.
Damn near 30. Niggas tried to clown. What?
Actually, more like 20, 25, 26, because it didn't include Loki too. And there's another one that they're missing. So let's say 25 projects since the end of Endgame.
What is that, 2019?
Yeah.
No.
Endgame is 2019.
Yeah. So Spider-Man Far From Home was the first film after that. Then we got WandaVision, we got Falcon and Winter Soldier, all in 2021, along with Loki, along with Black Widow.
All live at you counting you only count. Okay, you are counting animated. I'm
counting everything. I'm like okay. in general. That's why even D said Creature Commando, Eternals, Hawkeye. We got about like 10 projects alone in 2021.
That's a lot of shit.
We only got a break from Far From Home up to WandaVision. That was the only break we got. And then, boom, we got hit with a whole barrage, and that's only because of COVID.
I counted 28 for DC.
Since
nigga, we not doing Marvel versus DC. We saying superheroes.
But no, so I get to all right.
Me and T not saying.
No, I'm honestly, I don't. Yeah, and that's why I don't want to get away from us disagreeing.
Shit, but I'm saying if we got a year where we got 6 shits coming out from Marvel, then we got 5 coming out from DC. That's not even in the connected universe.
To the anchoring point of all of this. T, you just counted 30 for Marvel. I just counted 28 for DC. Mm-hmm. And the majority, if you combine all, and we didn't even get to Sony. If you combine all of this up, that is superhero movie fatigue. That is to a T, bro. That's over 50 titles since 2019. That is 5. That's 7 years.
But here's the thing, though. The kicker was the fact that we got straight up 9 straight projects in 2021. Literally after that, it was like, boom. Yeah, you got so much stuff to watch that whole daggone year. It's like you like, can I get a small break in between or something? They did a good job rectifying that. They did a good job rectifying that down the line, but it was like right out the gate. Like, you had so much stuff you had to watch.
Facts. So when Justice League War, the animated joint came out, we had that, and then we had like, what's that Captain America shit? Winter Soldier. You had like 3 joints that you could watch in the year, not fucking 18.
Bruh.
2022.
Yeah, bruh.
1, 2,
It
3,
like
4, 5, 6.
people are
7, 8, 9. Another 9 projects in 2022.
Yeah, and y'all, that's the thing. Y'all doing the year by year breakdown, which I think even before you get to the year by year breakdown, people are having fatigue. Honestly, it's more than I realized. Like, actually counting it, I'm like, this is because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 plus 28 plus 30. I'm just do a calculator because I don't.
Now imagine if all these projects was in some Game of Thrones universe.
Bro, that's
like,
66.
Enough of this weird shit.
That's 66 projects. Now, if we start adding in like The Boys and Invincible and all of that, we easily would be at over 70. So, like, on average, that's 10 superhero projects from 2019 to 2026. That's a year on average. That's a lot of bro, that is a lot of content. And for us to say, maybe, let's say, all right, Sage, from the 70 things that's come out, what percentage or what number or just number, concrete number, do you think was like either between good and really good? Out of the 70 projects that's come out across all of the superhero media.
Say if I'm being generous, probably a 30 to 40% of those.
That's not a
That
passing
puts us
grade.
at-
Dropped a lot.
That's not a passing grade.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's okay.
30%, nigga?
Yo, if I got a 30% on my test, my mama is up my behind like white on
good
rice.
thing it's not a goddamn test.
So you
Good thing
saying,
it's
let
not.
me see. You said 30 to 40?
30 to 40% of those projects probably were good to great. Not a lot of them. Because
So you said 37 projects were good that's come out between Image, Sony, DC, and Marvel in the last 7 years.
we might as well add Amazon too, since they got the boys.
Yeah, that's Image. That's Image. Mm-hmm.
And Invincible and everything like that too. Not my only thing.
I don't know
is
if it's
if there was
37.
superhero fatigue, it would be impacting these other shows that we have as well, such as Invincible and The Boys. And I just don't see that, which leads me to believe it's more so of fatigue of just ass stories and ass writing. That's the only thing I'm saying. If it was a superhero fatigue, we would see it across all mediums in regards to superheroes. But that's just not the case.
Well, here's
It's
the
just
thing.
not
Let
the
me
case.
break it down to you. Invincible came out. We got a trailer. People jumped on the train. If you saw that trailer, the trailer was probably high in numbers because people know about. Oh my god! Oh, he dropped it. Because people know about the Invincible comic book. We never had nothing Invincible at all. So the fact that we got something from homeboy that just did Walking Dead, and Walking Dead been running for a hot minute.
When did
People are
Invincible
ready to
season
come
2 come out? Last year, right?
We only on season 3?
We're only on season 3. When did Invincible season 2
Invincible
come out?
season 1 dropped in
Season
2021. Season 2 dropped 2023, 2024.
Prime superhero fatigue.
Hold on, it's
Wait,
been
is it
that
season
long
3?
since the last.
We're
Is it
on,
season 3?
we're on season 4 is coming up. We just got done with
Okay,
season 3.
when did season 3 drop?
Season 3 dropped
Last
earlier
year.
last year.
Mid superhero fatigue. Did we see any of these numbers drop off, dog?
But okay. Here's the thing.
No, we
I
have
get it.
That's
Hold on. The whole thing is, at the end of the day, you don't really see superhero fatigue from new projects that are coming out in a sense where there's high anticipation for it. When a name is around it, people are going to go check it out. If it has a good story, they will stick around.
At the point of season 3 of Invincible, it's no longer a new project. At the point of season 4 for The
But what I'm
Boys, it's
saying-
no longer a
But
new
look at the space of
project. So you
time
can't
before
use
we
that.
got the next season.
That's
You had
cool,
time
but
to
if it's
breathe.
superhero fatigue is gonna impact all superhero content. If it's superhero fatigue, any shit that has superheroes in it, it's going to impact it. And yet we see other mediums of superhero content being accepted graciously from its fans. Because it's no superhero
why-
fatigue.
why-
It was a
but I
fatigue
mean-
of shit content. If Invincible season 3 was ass, I bet niggas would have fatigue from Invincible. But guess what? It wasn't ass. It was actually pretty good. The Boys season 4, if that season was ass, it would probably be a lot of fatigue on The Boys. But guess what? It was pretty good.
Get what you saying in that sense, but I also do think, like, if we go by that 40%, you still at like
Season 1 of The Boys came out in 2019.
a
Season 2
lot
came out
of.
in 2020. Season 3 came out in
do this again.
2022. Season 4 dropped in 2024. There is a space of time.
Prime,
The Amazon
superhero fatigue.
42 projects though. That's ass. You feeling something?
It's a lot of ass. You feeling fatigue from the shitty projects, and I completely understand. But again, if you're tired of superhero content, you're not gonna turn on Invincible and be like, "Yeah." I'm
You would
tired
just
of
be
superhero
done with
content.
it.
You would
Is
just be
which
done
is
with
your
it.
point? You just would be done with it.
That's the premise of superhero fatigue. All the content would be enveloped into one roof because it's all superhero content. And if it was fatigue across the spectrum, we would be seeing it impact all of these other superhero shows or movies. And we didn't.
To D's point,
But you
or
gotta-
to
well, look
to
at this,
say,
look at this. To the general audience, you got other people that, like my sister, don't know shit about comics. She'll ask me, how come Batman isn't fighting Thanos right now? Shit like that. You got general audience members that don't know what universe these niggas belong to. When we talk about Marvel fatigue, they the ones putting out all these projects. DC, all these animated
You
projects.
just switched it up.
So
You said
watching-
Marvel fatigue.
but
We
I'm-
talk about superhero fatigue, brother.
I'm going for each one, Rob. I'm saying, but when we get to the Amazon shit, you talking about the Invincible. We have the anticipation all the years. People, my sister likes Invincible. She's developed this appetite to be like, you know what, I watch Invincible, but Derek, I'm not going to watch the Supergirl shit. I'm not going to watch the Batman shit, but I like this because her boyfriend watched that. You got all these different projects. People gonna pick the few that are good to keep.
yeah, I
watching.
do agree with that. Yeah, if it's stuff that is good, but that's still to D's. I get what D's saying. You still can have fatigue around superhero fatigue, specifically around the content that you do enjoy. Sage's point is, if you have superhero fatigue, it has to be for the entire genre. If it's not for the entire genre, it's more so aligned to just bad quality content. Which, to his point, to Sage's point too, I actually looked further into that definition, and they said on this point, they said some analysts suggest that the fatigue isn't just about heroes, but a broader societal exhaustion with loud, endless attention, economy, entertainment. Which, to his point, it wouldn't. That's where I think where he says like shitty movies, he's saying it's broader than just superhero movies. I don't know if I can argue with that point. It's been a lot of shitty movies outside of superhero movies too.
If niggas say they had, and we can end it from here because I gotta go. If niggas say they had Marvel fatigue, I completely understand. If niggas said they had DC fatigue, I completely understand. But once you start saying superhero fatigue, you start
Period.
encapsulating all of the superhero content that's being made at this present point in time. And that's just not happening. I can understand, again, the Marvel fatigue, DC fatigue, Sony fatigue.
Hold on.
But like in your case, you couldn't understand image fatigue.
One second. Miss Shorty 5, thank you for stopping through. Really do appreciate it. We have one question
Oh,
to ask
thank you.
One question to ask you.
No, brother. We gotta go.
It's gonna be a quick one. All it needs is a yes or no.
I hope that's a sound bit.
So our question is to you. Once again, thank you again for stopping through. At the end of Endgame, up till now, all these projects, whatever superhero project it may be, going across Sony, Amazon, everything under the sun, do you see it as fatigue from movies or superhero fatigue on how people feeling with many bad projects being released over such an egregious amount of time, and where we have to digest all this in a short amount of time that they're giving us?
I could see, while we waiting on the answer, I'm not gonna lie to y'all though, I could see it being broader. Just like I do. It's been a lot.
Yes.
Like like the way Marvel does it, yeah.
And Miss Shorty, just to give you a background,
Here we go.
when they're talking about superhero fatigue, they're talking about all content. What I'm saying is people probably have fatigue towards Marvel and DC and Sony specifically, but not a fatigue towards superhero content in general, because we see the likes of The Boys and Invincible still thriving in their superhero based content.
I feel like I'm not.
You didn't say all of that. You did not say all of that.
Hold on. But my question was, do you feel the superhero fatigue, not just from Marvel, Amazon, DC, like everything that's released since
3 out of 4? She said I got smacked with an.
Not like this.
Three out of 4 though.
3 out of 4.
Fatigue with 3 out of 4.
3 out of 5.
What's the 5th one?
The Boys, Invincible.
That's Image. That's all Amazon. That's all Image. That's Image content.
That's still 2 different projects though.
But it's like 20 different projects with Marvel. We're not going one by one. We just saying from the big companies around them, right?
Exactly.
If it's 3 out of the 4, or
I
yeah,
guess,
3 out of
I'm
the big
thinking about
4.
It's 2 different universes, so I know they fall under the same umbrella. But I'm
we
looking
put
at it
all
as
the
2
Marvel
solely different
animated,
projects.
and we do it
I
all
know
DC
because it's in the
animated
same
shit.
universe. It's in the same
Yo, Rob,
universe.
we
My
doing
bad,
DC
that's
animated
getting
shit,
crazy.
and there's more DC. Like we just saw DC. What's that Justice League shit that just came out? That's not in James Gunn universe. That's all grouped into DC.
The joint with the Flash, the 3-part series.
Yeah, Crisis.
All right, she's
We
back.
including that in all
So
DC.
yeah, the question.
It's
was,
hard. This
like,
actually is a really good topic.
like
Cause like I'm dancing a lot. At one point, I was 100% firmly on yes, it's considered superhero fatigue. But then I thought about it in another larger context, and I'm like, could this apply to just movies? Bad, like to Sage's point, bad movies in general. People are fatigued by the bad quality of the movies coming out. But now I'm doubling back a little bit, because it's like, bruh, if you got 4 houses, like if you got 4 fashion houses and they all are in luxury, like Louis Vuitton, like luxury designer wear, and it's 4 specific houses, and 3 out of the 4 houses you fatigued with, would it not be fair to say you have a high fashion fatigue at that point? It's not because of the one house that's holding it down. And I'm asking it as a question because I'm trying to figure it out myself, whether that would constitute, or whether it would be I have a clothing fatigue. Like, would I have you know what I'm saying? Like in that, would I have a fatigue to clothing? If primarily I'm interested in the big designer clothes, and 3 out of the 4 big designer clothes houses I have fatigue from the terrible content or the terrible stuff that they making. Would it not I don't know. I don't know. I still feel like, I don't know, part of me feel like it still would be considered superhero movie fatigue, even if there's one that's holding it down.
Yeah.
The direction DC is taking with this storyline has declined. The Marvel Easter egg keeps me more engaged.
On that note, I'm out of here before I get in trouble.
Hold on, before you leave out, I gotta let this sync up because this is gonna mess things up.
Oh yeah.
Well, once again, appreciate Miss Shorty 5 coming through.
Yeah, Miss Shorty, thank you. Also, just to read the comment, I think that the direction DC is taking with their storyline has declined. The Marvel Easter egg keeps me more engaged. Okay, so
You just read that.
he did.
Yeah.
I'm getting tired. I'm sorry.
All right,
I'm sorry.
Appreciate y'all.
Dang, I didn't even hear him read it, D. I didn't hear it.
We'll be back next week with more nonsense from Sage trying to battle us on every daggone topic. See you soon.
Yeah, I gotta go too. It's just getting late.
Yeah, they definitely got big shoes to fill with. I'm gonna head out real quick.
All right.
I want all the smoke. Yeah, running trash bags of that green. Whipping fast, the whip color of cocaine. I'm independent, they in this minute to start these dreams. On the road to riches, focus on the ticket back to my means. It's like now I'm just trying to float. There's a couple holes up in this boat. Dose my mind just so I can cool. They focus on the dollar, feel like I'm a migrant, just touching